How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Let me see if we got that. Let me see. Let me flip. Oh, how we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. As we do each and every day, we're back to talk about all things insulin resistance. If you're just joining us, which everybody's just joining us right now because we just turned on the live. We're going to talk about all things for insulin resistance. I'm Kelley. I'll be your host, certified holistic nutritionist, health coach. Super passionate about helping you reverse type 2 diabetes, helping you reverse insulin resistance. And I'm super passionate about you going and getting your next A1C and you being shocked, but in a good way. Okay? I want you to be shocked in a good way whenever you go back and get your A1C tested next time. So that's what we're going to uncover on this live. We're going to uncover, is type 2 diabetes, is insulin resistance, prediabetes, gestational diabetes, like PCOS, erectile dysfunction, like is all of this stuff required, or can it be reversed? You know what I mean? Can you reverse it? That's what we're going to uncover on this live today. My name's Kelley, folks, certified holistic nutritionist. Do me a favor. When you're coming into the room, bebop the screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition. What is that? Like I said, prediabetes, any high blood pressure, even high blood pressure, folks. High blood pressure is related to insulin resistance. On this live today, we're going to get down to the raw truth of it. We're going to go back to the beginning, find out, where does insulin resistance come from? How do I get insulin resistance? And then how do I get rid of insulin resistance? That's what we're going to uncover. How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. Do me a favor, when you're coming into the room, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that's struggling, and I mean struggling, with type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, and they've been struggling for quite a long time. They struggle like how I struggle. See, I had diabetes, I had heart disease, and I was obese, the triple whammy. The hat trick. Those people that are struggling with those conditions, man, send this live out to them. That's why I'm on this live every day. I'm on this live every day, most days, most every day to help you get out of that funk that you're in. You're in a hole. Insulin resistance has got a hold on you. So my job is to help you get out of that hole. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. Lots of people have reversed insulin resistance. You're going to be the next one, right? In 2026, this is going to be the year where you say, damn it, I'm going to reverse insulin resistance. I'm going to tell you what it is. Then I'm going to tell you how to reverse it. So questions that you got, any questions that you got, don't be afraid to put them in the chat because I got you. Let's see if you got any questions. Let's see where the folks are from. Do me a favor, folks. Double tap that screen when you just come into the live. Double tap that screen. Share the live out. And then let me know where you're from, man. What city are you from? What country are you from? What state you're from? All right? Because I want to shout out your city. I want to shout out your country. I want to shout out your state. So we'll be on here for a little bit today, folks. We'll be on here for about a couple hours or so. We'll be on for a little while. And then we'll be back later on this evening as well. So double whammy. So we'll be back we'll be on in the morning and we'll be on in the evening tonight. So it's going to be a fun day. How we doing, folks? A couple more folks coming into the room. It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. You see the topic of this live? It says, your next A1C could shock you, but in a good way. There's been people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's what I created. I created it because I want to get you out of that hole that you're in. I told you I was in a hole. There's been people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, taking their A1Cs down a couple of points, right? In 14 days. A couple of points, like from an 8 to a 6. So the question is, from a 7.1 to a 5.7. So the question is, if you have a high A1C, what the hell does that mean? What does it mean to have a high A1C? What the hell is a hemoglobin A1C? Do me a favor, folks. Double tap that screen. When you're just coming into the room, double tap that screen and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition, they've got pre-diabetes, they've got gestational diabetes, they've got PCOS, they've got pre-diabetes, they've got type 2 diabetes, they've got high blood sugar, folks. We're going to uncover that today. Share this live out there with them. Let's see, a couple more folks coming into the room. It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist. I'm going to talk to you today about how to reverse insulin resistance. I know a couple more folks are coming in, so we're waiting to get started. But any questions that you got in the meantime, send them my way. I got you. Any questions that you got? Here's the thing, folks. When it comes to defeating type 2 diabetes, I know where you are because I've been there. I've been in the hole where, like, listen, it's hard to tie my shoe. I've been in the hole where I had severe chest pain from the heart disease that I had. Told you, folks, I got diagnosed with diabetes, heart disease, and obesity all at the same doctor's visit. You know what I'm saying? I was in 2019. What was it? 2019. 2019. I got diagnosed with all of those conditions at the very same doctor's visit. Or was it was maybe in early 2020. Early 2020, I think it was. Yeah. Right before the big, pandemic. So diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. I don't have any of those anymore. I recently went from 178 down to 110. My A1Cs is still a 14. Pounds you talking about? Or are you talking about your blood sugar went down that far? Beth Witt? Pounds or your blood sugar? Do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen. Double tap that screen when you're just coming into the live. It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Right? Been in Houston now for 12 years. Like I just finished telling y'all, the reason that I'm so passionate about helping y'all reverse insulin resistance is because I had insulin resistance. No longer, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. So let's get into it. All right, Beth, shout out to you. Good morning, Antonio. Shout out to you. Beth, yeah, 110 pounds. Yeah, hang out with me. I got you, right? Losing the weight helps, but it's not the end all be all. It does help tremendously, right? But it's how you lost the weight. You still may have some of those but you still do have a lot of fat around your organs. Something is still being clogged. So we got to figure out what it is. Insulin resistance. Let's get into it. If my sugar is 135 upon waking up, should I not eat until it comes down? That's a very, very good question. That's called the dawn phenomenon. The dawn phenomenon happens to everybody. Here's what you want to do. You want to overnight at least 12 hours. At least 12 hours of no eating, right? 12 hours. And then that's called the dawn phenomenon. It happens to everybody. It happens to me, happens to you. But ultimately, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to eliminate the insulin resistance. If you do not eliminate the insulin resistance, you're going to keep on waking up with more. Who else wakes up in the morning with their blood sugar 135, 140, 150, 200? Who else? Put a me in the chat. If you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is just super high for no reason. You're like, why the hell is my blood sugar so high? Insulin resistance. Talk about what that is. Grand Rising, my brother. I'm in Houston as well. Shout out to you, boss. Shout out to my fellow Houstonian. Put a me in the chat, folks. If you wake up in the morning and your blood sugar is like, it's abnormally high. You don't even know why. You ain't even eat nothing. You ain't eat none of that. But you wake up and your blood sugar is high. Put a me in the chat. Is a 125 blood sugar high? Yes, it is. That's right at the diabetes mark, right? That's right at the type 2 diabetes mark. So yes, 125 is high. You're right on the edge of out of pre-diabetes and into type 2 diabetes. As soon as it clicks over to 126, boom. they say you're officially a diabetic at that point, 126, and it stays there consistently. Yeah. Okay, 125, yeah. 115, pre-diabetes, or are you talking about pounds, or are you talking about, what are you talking about? Pounds or your blood sugar? Because if you're talking about your blood sugar being at 115, yeah, you're right in that pre-diabetes range. Hubby is now 400. I'm killing myself to stop him. Oh, I check his Dexicon on my phone. He is type 2. Yeah, Mindy. It's a real emotional battle. The food is no joke. I know it's tough. Shout out to you, Mindy, on that one. What if it isn't consistent? What if it isn't consistent? What is it? What is it consistently? That's the question. What is it consistently? You tell me that, and I'll tell you. Blood sugar in the morning, yeah, it fluctuates. It fluctuates from what to what? You got to give me some. You got to give me a range. So let's talk about insulin resistance, folks. What is it? I told you, my name is Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. Before we get started, got to give y'all a little bit of context, and then we're going to talk about all things insulin resistance. Put your questions in the chat. I got you. Here it is. All things insulin resistance. Why do I care so much about you lowering your A1C, you getting your stuff together? Why do I care about you so much? It's because, listen, folks, I've been where you've been. I've been where you are. Look, let me, I got two cameras. I've been where you are. I've been there. I've had diabetes before. You know what I'm saying? I've had heart disease before. See that? Diabetes, heart disease. I'm trying to show both cameras, so we got it here. Diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, right? That's what that's called. I don't have those anymore, folks. No more diabetes. You see that? No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. See that? That's no more insulin resistance. No, it's all gone. And I lost all the weight. So remember I told you I got diagnosed with diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, all at the very same doctor's visit. Folks, that's why I'm so passionate about helping you reverse it, because if I can do it, and I was the biggest slouch, I was the biggest grasshopper on the planet. If I can do it, damn it, so too can you. You know what I'm saying? What about 105 in the morning? You're anything 100 to 10. We're going to talk A1C after insulin resistance, but anything 100 to 125, pre-diabetes. 126 and above, type 2 diabetes. 126 and above. We're talking type 2 diabetes, right? I'm a pre-diabetic. How do I reverse it? The same way that you got it. I'm going to show you right here. Check this out. How do you reverse it? That's a complicated question, but I'm going to make it super, super simple for you. So check it out. Insulin resistance. What the hell is it? Here's what insulin resistance is. Who can tell me, folks, what happens whenever you eat carbs? What happens to your blood sugar? Who can tell me, folks, what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat carbs? Uncontrolled blood sugar is a great way to lose weight. Yeah. Spikes. Yup. Spikes. Yup. Spikes. Any other carbs? Rice, pasta, lasagna, you know what I mean? All of that stuff. You drink a Coca-Cola, like what happens to your blood sugar? Yeah, up, spike, yeah, spike, yeah. You just wake up in the morning and you eat a bowl of oatmeal and with some brown sugar. What's gonna happen to your blood sugar at that point? Yep, spikes. So you eat food. That food, where you eat the carbs, turns into glucose in your bloodstream, or as you know it, blood sugar. That's what happens. So you eat carbs, it turns into glucose in your bloodstream. So all of that rice, all of that pasta, it just starts basically disseminating inside out of your stomach, and it just starts going everywhere. Just think about the pasta that you just ate, or the rice that you just ate, and see how this picture it going all over your body when it gets broken apart inside of your body. That's all glucose. Okay? That's all sugar. So then your pancreas says, whoa. Your pancreas goes on high alert. It's like your pancreas goes into 911 mode, like, You're calling 911. The pancreas says, what the hell's going on? So you eat carbs, turns into glucose. This is insulin resistance, folks. Eat carbs, turns into blood sugar. And then your pancreas kicks into high gear and says, what the hell is going on? And then, check it out. What's the next step? The next step is the big problem. This is where the problems start. You're insulin resistant. This is where the problems start. Eat carbs. Carbs turn into glucose. Your pancreas kicks into high gear. Insulin comes out. And it says, I need to take insulin's job is to take the energy and put them into the cells. That's the job of insulin. Insulin's job is to take the energy, right here, this is energy, that's all energy, the food that you just ate, and put it into the cells. So in a normal person, that's how it's supposed to work. You just eat food, and then the insulin comes out, it tells your cells to open cells, that's what insulin's job is, and then the energy goes into your cells, and then you have energy. That's how it works. That's how your body works. That's how energy is supposed to work in your body. Is that making sense to y'all so far? Put a healthy yes in the chat. This is making sense to you so far on insulin resistance. Now, that's the good stuff. But now, where do the problems start? So this is making sense. All right, class. Yeah, okay. Class is in session. Put a yes, healthy yes in the chat if this is making sense so far. Okay, insulin resistance. Give me one more yes. One more. Okay, one more. All right, all good. Your cells start to resist. Okay, got a couple more yeses. Your cells start to resist, folks. Normally they're supposed to go in, no problem. But your cells are starting to resist. Why? That's the question. You've got these little receptors on the outside of your, your cells have these little receptors for insulin. So insulin's job is supposed to come in, tell the cells to open up, and then all of the glucose will go into your cells and you'll have energy. But here's where the problems start. Your cells will eventually start to resist the insulin. You're like, well, why are the cells resisting the insulin? Well, because of a couple of reasons. Number one, it's come around too much. It's come around too much, folks. So if you're just joining us, my name's Kelley, folks, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. We're talking about all things insulin resistance, like what the hell is it? What the hell is it? So a recap, so y'all just coming in, I'm gonna give y'all a quick recap. Here's insulin resistance in a nutshell, folks. Eat carbs, rice, pasta, all of that stuff. It turns into blood sugar, glucose. Your pancreas kicks into high gear and says, whoa, release the hounds. Because the pancreas is basically like a defense mechanism. Insulin is a defense mechanism. So pancreas says, release the hounds. The hounds are insulin. And that's insulin's job is to open up the cells attached to these little receptors right here. Tell the cell to open up, and then all of the glucose can come in, and you can be good. You have energy. But the problems start when you become insulin resistant. That means that the cells are saying no. Why are the cells saying no to insulin? Insulin comes knock on the door, attaches to the receptor, and the cell tells insulin and glucose to get the hell on. Like, you guys get the hell on, go. We don't want you anymore because you come around too much frequency, you cry wolf too much. And number two is we're full. We're already full. We're already full of glucose. We're already full of energy. We're already full. And then sometimes it can be filled with fat as well. That's called ectopic fat. That's the fat that's spilled over into your organs, your liver, your pancreas, and all of that stuff. Visceral fat. We're already filled with all of that stuff already. And number one, you come around too much, so it tells insulin to keep moving. So that's why you become insulin resistant. So then the question is, well, what happens next? Well, insulin has another job as well, and that is to store fat. Store fats. This is the job. This is another job of insulin. It tells you to store fat, folks. Look at that. What do you mean store fat? Well, that jiggly stuff, that's fat. Overload of glucose, yes, indeed. Hi, do oatmeal is good? It's good for type 2 diabetes. No, please, no, oatmeal is not. Can pancreas fail to perform? Yes, it can. We'll cover that. Once I finish this process, I'll go back and I'll answer your questions about all things type 2 diabetes. Can the pancreas fail? Yes. The pancreas can, oh yeah, let me answer that. The pancreas can fail. The reason that the pancreas can fail is because the cells are saying, no, we don't want any more insulin because you've got too much. So the pancreas is like, yo, well, we still got blood sugar in the bloodstream. So my job as the pancreas is to put out more insulin so that we can force the energy into the cells. But when you do that, your blood sugar stays high year after year, and your pancreas got to keep on cranking out insulin. Eventually, it's going to get tired. Eventually, year after year, it's going to get tired. My credentials are right here. You see my credentials? There it is. Boom. I put it there so you can see it. It's going to get tired. Your pancreas is. So you do that year after year after year after year after year. You're like 30 years. Then you can destroy your pancreas. Yes, that is possible. But it takes a hell of a long time for you to do that. That's not something that you just gonna do overnight. For your pancreas to say, I'm tired. Okay, so you store fat. That's next. When you store fat, that's the jiggly stuff. So that's why you can't lose the weight, and that's why your blood sugar won't go down. You can't lose the weight, folks, because you're insulin resistant. The more insulin that you have, the more your pancreas is pumping out, the more fat you're storing. You see what I'm saying? This is crazy. This is the process of insulin resistance, folks. And then lastly, here's what happens. You get tired. Who gets tired? Put a me in the chat, folks, if you get tired, if you get hungry, if you get sleepy maybe, or if you get sugar cravings, put that in there. You get tired. You get tired. Put a me in the chat. Folks, if you get tired, if you get cravings, or if you get hungry, put that in the chat, folks. That happens to you. Put a me in the chat. And then the last part of this whole little saga right here is a repeat. This is insulin resistance. All right. Yes. You get tired. Some comments, yes. You get tired. If you get tired, you get hungry, you get sugar cravings. Yep. Yes, all of that. Yep. Yes, after meals. Yes, get tired. Yep. Stay tired. Right. Here's why. And I'm going to sum insulin resistance up. And there'll never be an issue of what the hell insulin resistance is ever again. What happens? Why are you insulin resistant? It all goes back to number one. Here's what happens. Here's insulin resistance, and I'm going to sum it up. And this is it. We're going to put insulin resistance to bed, and then we're just going to move forward on how do you defeat it. That's going to be the next thing. Insulin resistance is this. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. Type 2 diabetes is this. This is what type 2 diabetes is. It's your body's inability to properly handle or manage energy. Where does insulin resistance come from? Well, when you eat carbs, things like rice, pasta, lasagna, all of that stuff, right? Spaghetti, sodas, Coca-Cola, sugar, all of that stuff. You eat carbs, that carbs then turns into glucose when it gets into your bloodstream, turns into glucose, blood sugar. So a lot of it gets released. That's why your blood sugar rises. Okay? Then your pancreas kicks into high gear. Your pancreas says, okay, we noticed that there's some blood sugar in the bloodstream. Let's release the hounds. That's what the pancreas says. Release the hounds. Who are the hounds? Insulin. Insulin's job is to take the energy from the food, the glucose, and put it into the cells. It's an easy process. It's supposed to happen like that. That's how it's supposed to happen. And you're just supposed to have energy. See how I got energy? That's all due to glucose, folks. Okay? That's all. That's energy. So insulin's job is to open up the cells, to attach to the receptor on the cell, knock on the cell's door so that the cell can open up, so that the energy from the food that you just ate, from those carbs that you just ate, can go into your cells and you can have energy. That's it. That's how the process is supposed to work. But then you become over time, you become insulin resistant. That means that the cells are no longer listening to the insulin. They're becoming resistant to it. Like they're putting up a stance against insulin. Like, no, why are they doing that? Why are your cells doing that? It's because insulin's come around too much. Insulin has come around too much, and it's causing the cells to stop listening. And number two is they're already full. You're like, why are the cells not listening? They're already full. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. We're full, dude. Like, go. Insulin. We're already full of glucose. You see, that's what these little dots are. We're already full of glucose. So then what happens next? Next, you store fat. Because the energy has to go somewhere, right? Has to go somewhere. This glucose has to go somewhere. It just can't disappear into the stratosphere. So you store it as fat in the meantime. You can't use it right now, so you store it as fat. It's kind of like when you go to the grocery store and you come home, you got all these groceries and you put them away in the cabinets. You're storing it, right? Then you get hungry again because you put all the food away. Like, yo, we got no food. We put it all away in the cabinets. What are we supposed to eat? So that's the job of insulin. So the more insulin you have, the more fat you're going to have stored. The higher your insulin is, it's impossible to lose weight. You can try to lose weight until the freaking cows come home, right? You can try to lose weight, but if your insulin is high, you can wrap it up. You can hang it up. You ain't losing no damn weight. No weight. It all stems from inflammation, bro. Okay, yeah. And inflammation is from insulin resistance. Yeah. What carbs can you eat while on your way to reverse, but also try to gain muscle? Whole unprocessed carbs. We're going to talk about that. Give me a second and I'll answer that. What do you do in the meantime? So we're talking about insulin resistance, storing fat, and then finally you get tired, you get hungry, you get sugar cravings. Why do you get sugar cravings? Because what's the quickest form of energy you can get? That would be sugar. Quickest form of energy you can get, and your body knows it. That's why you get tired, because you can't properly handle energy, right? I told you that's what type 2 diabetes was. So what do we do about it? Here's what you do about it. I'm going to tell you what it is. Get tired, get cravings, you get hungry, and then you repeat. Here's what you do about it. You don't repeat this process. Okay? Insulin resistance comes from this. You just repeat this process every day. You eat carbs, you glucose, pancreas, insulin, resist, stores fat, you get tired, you get hungry, you get craving. And then when you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings, you go eat again, right? And you eat the same stuff you just ate. and it just keeps going in a circle. And then you repeat it again, and it just keeps going in a circle. You got to break the cycle. This is how you beat it. This is how you reverse insulin resistance. Number one, eat real, whole, unprocessed foods. Cut out the food. The food, it's the food that I'm going to point all the way back. Where does insulin resistance come from? It comes from the food. That's where it comes from. If you do not fix the food, you do not fix insulin resistance. You can try and try and try, but you're not going to do it. It's impossible. You can't do it if you don't fix your food, because that's where it comes from, right? That's the root of it. That's the root cause of insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes for most folks, unless it's caused by stress. The other way that you got it is through eating a whole bunch of carbohydrates, or I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, but steroids can also increase insulin resistance. Anything outside of that, it's the food that you're eating. So what should we be eating? Real, whole, unprocessed foods. What are we eating? Carbonated junk, crap as I call it, carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, and processed foods. That's what we're eating. So everybody knows what we got to do. We know we got to eat real, whole, unprocessed foods. We know we got to cut out the crap. Everybody knows that. These are the basics though. But if you ever want to do anything about it, you got to fix the food. What do you eat? Fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, grains, legumes, aka whole grains, beans, right? Black beans, navy beans, red beans, cannellini beans. All of these vegetables, onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, zucchinis, squash, things like that. Now, if you want a list of those veggies that I just named out, you should go download the Ultimate Veggie Guide, folks. That's a free resource. It's in my bio. The Ultimate Veggie Guide for type 2 diabetics, called the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's linked in my bio. It's absolutely free, folks, with all of those veggies that I just named. So, folks, any questions on insulin resistance, on how to defeat insulin resistance? Let me see. Sweet potatoes. Yeah, you can do sweet potatoes, but it's how you eat the sweet potatoes, right? I like how you broke that down. Thank you, Mom. I told you I was going to put it to bed, right? I was going to put this whole insulin, like, what the hell is insulin resistance? I don't know what it is. I'm going to put it to bed. This simple analogy right here, we're going to put it to bed. Thank you. Is that why you can't lose weight? Is insulin resistance no matter what you do? Yes. And you always crave sugar. Everything that you just named, Tara, is in this process. You said that you can't lose weight. Why can't you lose weight? Well, because if you got high levels of insulin, you ain't going to lose weight no matter what you're going to do, because you're just going to be storing fat. It's kind of like you're just running on a dang on treadmill. You're on a merry-go-round. You trying to lose weight and your body's trying to store fat. Y'all just like pushing and pulling each other the whole damn time. Insulin is pushing, you're pulling. Insulin's pushing, you're pulling. It's just doing this tug of war. And what does that mean for you? That means that you lose like 1 pound, and you've been trying and you lost 1 pound over the past month. That's that push-pull battle. You feel me? Feel me? Like there's a guy on here, he's always talking about eating. He's like, feel me? So you feel me? That's the push-pull battle. Any questions on insulin resistance? Watch your inflammation decrease. Yes, watch your inflammation decrease. Any questions on insulin resistance, folks? I told you I was going to put it to bed. This whole insulin resistance thing once and for all on how to defeat it. Now, again, if you need help with this, you can download my free guide, the Ultimate Veggie Guide. I'll show you where it is. The Ultimate Veggie Guide. So if you click here, click on my picture again. Well, let me make sure that this is making sense to y'all. If this is making sense to y'all, did we put insulin resistance to bed finally? Put a yes in the health, put a health yes in the chat if we finally put insulin resistance to bed and what it is and how we can defeat it. If not, we can break it down even further, folks. Okay? Did we put it to bed? Yes. I don't see it. You don't see what? What do you don't see? Tell me, well, what did I miss, Joe? What did I miss? Yes, I want to know why my sister is always tired. Well, she's always tired because type 2 diabetes means that your body's you have the inability to properly handle energy. Tired being one of them. Energy relates to being tired. So when it gets to this process right here of insulin tells your body to take the energy that you need so you're not tired, take the energy and store it as fat. Skip this step right here, but store it as fat. So when you store the fat, you automatically, you get tired again, you get hungry again, and you get sugar cravings again. Why? It's because your body has the inability to properly handle energy, manage energy. So you get tired. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? You get tired. Because insulin is telling your body to store fat. And when you store fat, you get tired, you get cravings, and you get hungry. And then you repeat it again. That's insulin resistance. You know what I'm saying? That's insulin resistance. I don't see it. Health, yes. We finally put insulin resistance to bed, damn it. Let me see. Let me do the thing. Let me do the sound effects. Where's the clap? Put insulin resistance to bed. All right. I don't see the book offer on the bio. Here we go. Let me show you. It's not a book, veggie book. Here it is right here. Let me show y'all where it is. Here it is. So if you click here, you click on my picture again. How about snacks? I'm going to get to that. Click right here. The ultimate veggie guide is right here, folks. Here it is. There it is. You see that first one? The ultimate veggie guide. Okay? That's it. It's the ultimate veggie guide. This guide, there's some couple things that you get on there, but this guide is going to tell you some of the recommended veggies to eat. But that's absolutely free, folks. But that's just the veggie guide. That's the free stuff. I got a lot of free stuff on my page, folks. I got a free quiz. I got a master class. I got a whole bunch of freebies on there. But there's only one that's on there that I got to charge you for, and that's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Because that one is for my folks who are ready. They're ready for what? They're ready for serious change. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is designed for my folks who say, we're ready to get out of this damn rat race right here. Like, I just gave you the blueprint. But the question is, how do you do it? Like, how do I do it, Kelley? Point me the way. If you need a roadmap, a structured roadmap, this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is the roadmap, is what you've been looking for. I created it for you because I was a damn diabetic. I had heart disease and I was obese. Until I figured this out, once I figured this out, now I don't have diabetes anymore. Now I'm no longer obese. Now I don't have any heart disease anymore, folks. That's why I created the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's why I'm so passionate about helping you defeat type 2 diabetes and putting this shit to bed. Like, forget about all of the crazy stuff like losing your life 15, 20 years too soon. Like, nah, let's put that shit to bed. And let's just go ahead and knock out insulin resistance right now. Get it done. And then you can do whatever here's the thing. Do what you have to as quickly as you can so that you can do what you want to for as long as you can. What is it that you have to do? Well, you have to defeat insulin resistance. That's what you have to do. That means you got to do the work. And what is it that you want to do? Well, you want to hang out with your friends and family. You want to walk your kid down the aisle. You want to be at your kid's graduation years from now, right? That's what you want to do. So do what you have to as quickly as you can so that you can do what you want to for as long as you can. Now, let me get to these questions. Oh, yeah. If you want to join the 14-day challenge, like I said, only thing I got to charge you for, $79 to join the challenge. Over 400 people have joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Over 400. And their results are amazing. I'm telling you. People have been taken off their medication by their doctor. I'm not a doctor. I can't take you off your medication. I told you that before. That's not me. But progress. You join this 14-day challenge, progress is what you're going to make. That is the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for 20% off, $79. That's the live discount code to join that challenge. You join it, your life will never be the same. I promise you. Questions. Here we go. Health, yes. Why is my sister always tired? The veggie guy, the ultimate veggie guy. Go get it. It's absolutely free in my bio. Right? Get it. The ultimate veggie guy. Just clear up all of the confusion. Know what it is clearly, but how to reverse it. That is how to reverse it. You go back to the beginning. That's how you reverse it. You go back to the beginning. You fix the food that you're eating. That's the only way that you're going to reverse it. It's the only way. If I knew another way, I'd tell you. If I thought it was metformin that would get you that way, I'd tell you go the metformin. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. But if I knew that, if I knew that taking all of that medication was the answer, I'd tell you. But I'm not. I can't tell you that. First of all, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. But I would tell you that that's where it starts, right there. Go download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. That's where you start, folks. Ultimate Veggie Guide. I don't see the book. So I'm so tired 24/7. You fix the call. You fix that right there, right? I must have it. I've been trying for 3 months to lose weight and can't. Have lost like 3 pounds. Yes. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yes. Sounds like it. For some reason, your profile with your guide doesn't pop up. I don't know. Is anybody else having any problem with the guide popping up? I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to try it on my end. Let me see. If you click here, you click on my picture again. Here it is right here. Let's see. The Ultimate Veggie Guide. Let's see. I'm going to click on it. There it is. Boom. There it is. It's working. It's working. It seems to be working, folks. Let me see. Should be a pop-up. Yup. Pop-up. Yeah. I don't know why it's not working on your end, boss, but yeah. Anybody else having issues with the Ultimate Veggie Guide? And here's the big one right here, though, folks. Like I told you, there's a lot of freebies on my page. There's a quiz. There's a masterclass. There's a 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. There's a whole bunch of, you can book a call, man. You can take it's a whole bunch of goodies on here. But the only one that I got to charge you for is this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Like I said, real people getting real results in 14 days, folks. People have taken their A1C from an 8 to a 6, from a 7.1 to a 5.7 in 14 days, folks. This is the people come on the live and they share their stories. Someone took their fasting blood sugar from over 500 to down to a 150 in 14 days. Crazy work. That's the power of food, folks. So if you need a blueprint, if you need a nutrition blueprint that says, hey, what do I need to do? I can give you all the information. I can give you all the free guides and all that stuff. That's great. But you still may need some direction. The 14-day challenge is the action that you take. It's the gap between knowing and doing. That's the gap. You fill it with the 14-day challenge. Use that discount code PROGRESS. $79 to join that challenge. 14-day challenge. Let me see. For some reason, yep. Thank you for the veggie guide. Man, Terry, shout out to you for downloading that veggie guide. What's your grandkids now, huh? What's your grandkids now? I don't have any grandkids. I'm too young for grandkids. You know what I'm saying? I'm too young for grandkids, folks. I got it. Just thank you. Okay, I downloaded the veggie guide and we'll come back and learn more because I don't want more meds. Yeah, shout out to you, Indian. Thank you for downloading that veggie guide. Let's say if we do eat carbs, make sure we have our tolerance high and eat protein and fiber first. Yes, SC Squirrel, that is amazing advice. That's it. When we talking about eating carbs, right? Good. We don't want to eat these carbohydrates by themselves. Never, ever again, ever in life, folks, eat carbohydrates by themselves. Never wake up in the morning, eat a bowl of rice. Never wake up in the morning, eat a bowl of oatmeal. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't wake up in the morning, eat a bowl of oatmeal. Yes. Nope. Let's see. Just downloaded the veggie guide. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Had a lot of protein. I did open until the fifth time. Had a lot of protein. I didn't open until the 5th time. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Got it. Something else. How much? Join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is normally $99 to join the challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS Progress is the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for 20% off. $79 to join that 14-day challenge, which over 400 people have joined this 14-day challenge. It's changing lives. It is a blueprint. It's what to eat, when to eat. I've taken all of the guesswork out of it for you. There's no guesswork. Okay. All you get to defeat insulin resistance, we just got to fix it, because I told you that's where it starts. We got to fix this food. If we don't fix this food, our chances of defeating insulin resistance are free. We ain't got a shot, and we ain't got a chance in hell. We don't have a chance in hell to defeat insulin resistance if we don't fix the food first, because that's the core of it. I have an app, so when I go to the store, I can scan everything. If it isn't green, don't buy it. Are you talking about the Yuka app? That's an amazing app. Yes, it's an amazing app. I am on metformin 1 month now. I hate it. Can I get off? What do I do? Please help. Well, we're going to go back to the beginning. Number one, we got to fix the food. Here's how you do that. John Cena's son. We got to fix the food first. If we don't fix the food first, the chances of you getting off of metformin are freaking slim to none. So we got to fix the food first. Where do we fix the food? What do we do? What are we eating? Real, whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, grains, legumes, beans, leaner sources of protein, chicken, turkey, steak, eggs. That's where you start, folks. But if you really want a starting point, the food, I told you that's where it is. This is how you fix it. Because you can take all the medication you want, but until you fix the food, folks, this is what we're doing in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is a food challenge. 14 days, everything's all designed for you, taking all the guesswork out of it for you. You just got to show up. You got to do the work. And you got to do it again the next day. You do that, you get amazing results, just like everybody else who's joined this challenge, because it's a proven system. Use that discount code PROGRESS. Got any eating tips for 120 pounds, 5'11", male, trying to bulk up, hard to force big meals for me? I'm not the bulk up guy, John Cena. I know you're the John Cena, but bulking, there's a lot of more folks that help you bulk up. I'm not the bulk up guy. I'm the guy to help you reverse type 2 diabetes, and I'm the guy that you want to lose some weight. I'm gonna show you how to lose some weight. Bulking up, that's not really my thing. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of folks on here. There's a lot of folks on this app that'll tell you how to get super, super swole. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, the Yuka app. Yeah. Shout out to you, Dr. Elijah. Shout out to you. Is oats good? No, not in the morning. Not in the morning. Oats are not great. Oats are, I told you, you don't want to wake up in the morning and you don't want to eat some oatmeal. Just wake up in the morning and eat some oatmeal. You don't want to do that, especially on an empty stomach. You always got to pair it with a healthy fat or a healthy protein. Something like, if you want to eat oatmeal, pair it with a healthy fat or a healthy protein. A fat, like an avocado, some peanut butter, single ingredient peanut butter, or almond butter. What else? Or a protein, right? So whether it be chicken, whether it be steak, whether it be eggs, whatever it is that you eat. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. How you doing, folks? It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. We just talked about insulin resistance. I'm really shocked that no one's we just put insulin resistance to bed, folks. So if you're just joining us, no worry, it's just gonna get even better. That was insulin resistance. Now we're gonna up the ante a little bit, folks. You see the name of this live? Your next A1C could shock you in a good way. Okay? Your next A1C could shock you in a good way. Any questions on insulin resistance? All right, no questions. Is sweet potatoes good? Sweet potatoes are good. Yes, sweet potatoes are good. But like I said before, you do not eat a sweet potato by itself on an empty stomach. You don't eat the sweet potato by itself. You pair it with something, or you eat it. Think of it. When you think of sweet potato, you think of dessert. You think of pleasure. So you eat it last on your plate. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Like I said, folks, you want to join that challenge. You've gotten to the point where change isn't just desired, where it's downright necessary. That 14-day challenge is calling your name. You use that discount code PROGRESS. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 20% off, $79 to join that challenge. Where I promise you, you show up and you do the work, your life will never be the same. So let's get into the next topic. Oh, and for y'all just joining us, go download the ultimate. You can download the ultimate veggie guide, folks. There's a lot of freebies on my page. I got all the goodies for you. I got the quiz for you. I got a master class, the ultimate veggie guide. Woo, that one. Those are all freebies. The challenge is the only one that I got to charge you for, because like I said, it's real people getting real results in 14 days, folks. Hemoglobin A1C. Let's flip it up a little bit. Hemoglobin, because that is the name of this live. The name of this live is Your Next A1C Could Shock You, but in a good way. That's the name of this live. Who's ever gone to the doctor and gotten their hemoglobin A1C tested? Folks, if you're comfortable with it, put your A1C in the chat if you're comfortable with it, because we're getting ready to switch gears now. We just talked about insulin resistance, didn't we? Now we're going to talk about what happens when you stay insulin resistant. What happens to your blood sugar when your insulin resistance stays too high for too long? What happens? What happens to your body? Like what? Put A1C in the chat, folks. Do me a favor. Put A1C in the chat. Your A1C, if you're comfortable with it. Mine got to a 6.5, folks. Let me show you. Let me show you, just so we're clear. Look at that. When I was here, boom, my A1C was a 6.5, folks. Should I remain on metformin while on the 2 weeks? I'm not your doctor. I can't tell you to get on your medication and get off your medication, right? That's not my job. That's between you and your doctor. But I can tell you that folks who have joined the challenge, after day 1, they were on medication, and then day 15, they went back to the doctor somewhere around that time, and they were taken off of their metformin by their doctor. So I can't take you off of the medication. But people who have joined the challenge, they go through the challenge, and their doctor has taken them off their medication. Why? Because their doctor's seen the results. Okay, so they took them off. I can't do that. This is it, folks. This was when my A1C was a 6.5 right there. See that? 6.5. That's called type 2 diabetes. That's what it is. Now my A1C is 5.2, 5.3. Somewhere I can eat whatever I want. I got full metabolic restoration, right? I can eat carbs now. We talked about carbs. I can eat carbs. I can eat carbs whatever I want, whatever. I can eat whatever I want. And then my blood sugar is going to go back to what it was within a couple of hours. Within about 2 hours or so, it's going to go back to baseline. That's called full metabolic restoration. So no remission, none of that stuff. We're talking full reversal, folks. This is what you can do too. You can reverse this thing in 2026. I'm going to show you how to do it. A1C, amazing. 5.6, I just found out. Yeah, okay, let's get into it then. Let's get into it. Folks, for the folks asking about the challenge, you want to join that challenge, you use the discount code PROGRESS, 20% off, join the challenge for $79. 2 weeks, that's it. One time, $79. So what's in it? Everything that you need's in it. All of the food that you're supposed to eat, the recipes, all of that stuff. It's a blueprint. It's all structured for you. It's in a digital format. I'm on the videos showing you, hey, do this, do that. Over 400 people have joined this thing. These people have gotten amazing results. A1C, here it is. Hemoglobin A1C. Go to the doctor. No one's put their number in there. Put their number in. If you're comfortable with it, folks, put your number in. Mine was a 6.5. Okay, nobody's comfortable with it. Let's say the word hemo means iron and oxygen. So iron and oxygen. Okay, 12.5. We got some over here. We got Joan over here. Shout out to you, Joan. 12.5. Let's see. Okay, 6.4, 5.1, 5.1, 6.1. Okay. Now these numbers that y'all are calling out, we're gonna get to them. But hemoglobin A1C. So hemo means iron and oxygen, and the word globin means protein. That is what hemoglobin is. You're like, well, what the hell is that? Think of hemoglobin like this. Every time you breathe in and out, that's hemoglobin. That's oxygen-rich blood. It needs to flow to every cell of your body 24/7. Like you need this stuff 24/7. It's so important that if your hemoglobin gets too low, folks, the doctor will actually give, we talked about the doctor, shout out to my doctors. The doctors will actually give you a blood transfusion. You see what I'm saying? That's how important hemoglobin is. A1C is how much sugar has been stuck to the hemoglobin over the past 3 months. Your oxygen-rich blood, how much hemoglobin has been, how much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months. And now those numbers that y'all are calling out, if you're comfortable with it, folks, if you're just joining us, put it in the chat. That's a percent. That's a percent. It is the percent of sugar that is stuck to your hemoglobin. Keyword is stuck. Keyword is stuck. How much sugar has been stuck to it? So if your number is a 6.1, if your number is a 7, if your number is a, 6.4, that is the percent of sugar over the past 3 months that has been stuck to your hemoglobin. Now, what do I mean by sugar? I mean that sticky stuff that sticks to your fingers, like when you eat a Jolly Rancher and it gets stuck to your fingers. That's the sticky stuff I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The higher the percent, the more sugar that you have that is basically, what is the sugar doing? It's glycating your cells. It's glycating your hemoglobin. What does it mean to glycate? Well, to glycate means to rust, basically. In a fancy way of saying it, it means to rust. Your cells are rusting. What does that mean? That means it's called, you're cooking, basically. You're cooking. You look at a pipe in the beginning, you see a pipe in the beginning, it's all nice and clean, a brand new fresh pipe. But shoot, you let that pipe stay out in the conditions for a while. I worked in the oil and gas industry, folks. I've seen a lot of pipes. And it stays out and it starts getting rusty and it deteriorates looking like that's what's happening to your cells. That's why you look older. That's why your skin looks all wrinkly and all this. Like you may be 30, but you look like you're 50. You know what I'm talking about? When they say 80 is the new 40, but like, nah, 40 is the new 80. That's because the sugar is aging you. It's aging you a lot quicker than what you would like. Okay, so it's a percent of sugar, the percent of sugar that is stuck. So what does it mean when your A1C is a 5.7 to a 6.4? Who knows what it means? When your A1C is a 5.7 to a 6.4. Who can tell me what that means? Put it in the chat. What is your diagnosis? 5.7, and my doctor telling me I'm not pre-diabetic, but my body tells me differently. Yeah, that means your insulin resistance, which we're going to talk about here in a second. You're already insulin resistant, just hasn't got bad yet. Went from 11.2 to 5.6 in 4 months. Just diet. That's it. That's how you do it. That's because that's where it comes from, right? Ever since I got IR, my face looks puffy and bloated. It's gross. Oh, whoa. Pre-diabetic. Yes, that's what it means. Pre-diabetic. What does that mean? Remember we talked earlier, the last segment? Remember we talked about that hormone called insulin? Well, insulin, folks, is the most important hormone in the body. How do I know it's the most important hormone in the body? It's because if you ask a type 1 diabetic, type 1 diabetes is totally different than type 2 diabetes. You ask the type 1 diabetic, how long can they go without their insulin? And the answer is going to be not for very long, folks. They ain't going to be able to go without their insulin. Because you cannot survive without insulin. That's how important it is. So when you become a pre-diabetic, it means that you're already insulin resistant. When you start at 5.7, it means that you're already insulin resistant to the most important hormone in the body. You're resistant to it. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. That's all pre-diabetes is. That's it. It's no different than type 2. So we're going to put this stuff to bed. I told you, folks. It's no different than type 2 diabetes. It's just how bad did you let it get? How bad did you let it get? And when I started dieting, boom, slim again. Okay, let's up the ante a little bit, folks. My A1C got to a 6.5. When I showed you those pictures, my A1C got to a 6.5. Who can tell me what that means when your A1C is a 6.5 or higher? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Some folks called out some numbers. 12, 13. What does that mean, folks? When your A1C is that high, when your A1C starts climbing, 14, 15, you know what I mean? What does that mean? How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist. We just finished talking about all things insulin resistance. Now we're going to talk about its cousin. Its cousin is your A1C test. That's the cousin of insulin. Okay, insulin resistance. The A1C. They kind of coincide with each other. Okay, what does it mean? Type 2 diabetes. Yep, diabetes. Your A1C is a 6.5 or higher. It means diabetes. This marker is not great anymore. It's going crazy. Oh, hold up. I got another one. Diabetes. That's it. Diabetes. Well, what the hell does that mean? Remember earlier, folks, what we said? What did we say diabetes was? Remember that? Diabetes is this. It is type 2 diabetes. It is your body's inability to this is what it means to be a diabetic. It means that your body's inability to properly handle energy. So any food that you eat is it's always why you're always tired. It's why you're always hungry, and it's why you always got sugar cravings. These are classic signs of type 2 diabetes. That's it. These are classic signs. Right? Why? Because your body can't process energy. Why can't it process energy? Well, because it has become resistant to the most important hormone in the body. What is the most important hormone in the body? Insulin. Insulin is so important that if you do not have it, you will not survive. So why type 1 diabetics are insulin dependent. They have to take insulin from the outside and use it. Right? That is called insulin dependent. Insulin resistant is totally different. Totally different. You're resistant to the most important hormone in the body. And your A1C is an indicator of how insulin resistant you are, because the higher the percentage, that means the more sugar that you have that is stuck to your hemoglobin. And once it's on there, it's on there. Once the sugar has coated your hemoglobin, you can't get it off. You can't. All you can do is basically wait it out. That's all you can do is wait it out. That's it. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Every 3 months, this is why you go get an A1C test every 3 months, right? Every 3 months. They say, hey, when can I get my next A1C? It's in 3 months. Well, that's because you want to know why 3 months? Because that's how long it takes for your hemoglobin to regenerate. All of them. You get new hemoglobin every day. You get new oxygen-rich blood cells every day. Every day you get new ones. Like today when you woke up, you got new oxygen-rich blood cells. Yesterday, the day before that, when you woke up, you got new oxygen-rich new ones that regenerated. So it takes 90 days for all of them to turn over. And you get a whole fresh new set. You wait it out, basically. I got my little thingy. Hold on, little puzzle. You wait it out. Because you can't get the sugar off. Once it's damaged, your hemoglobin, once it's oxidized, once it's glycated, that's it. You can't do anything. You just got to wait for the new ones to come. And hope that you ate better and you eat better, you move your body more. Those new ones that are being regenerated every day, those are the fresh ones. So they stay fresh. You feel what I'm saying? And after 3 months, you've turned over a brand new leaf, basically. You feel what I'm saying, folks? This is A1C. This is how insulin resistance, this is how A1C, this is how their high blood sugar, this is how they're all connected. But here's the thing. Here's what the sugar is actually doing. The sugar, if you think about it, the sugar is actually, the more it's coated, it's literally choking. What do we say hemoglobin was? Hemoglobin is the red oxygen-rich blood cells that you breathe. You breathe in oxygen. That's hemoglobin, rich blood. That's you gotta have that. You can't go without oxygen. Try it and see. So the sugar is literally choking the life out of you. The more sugar, the higher percentage, the more sugar that you got that's choking the life out of you, folks. Why do you think people pass away 15, 20 years too soon? Why do you think that? Why do you think people get decades taken off of their life? It's because the hemoglobin A1C, folks, is not just a number. Folks, it is your whole, it is everything. You know what I'm saying? Your hemoglobin A1C is high. You're getting the life choked out of you. Literally, in a literal context. That's literally what it means. So you got to take a blood sugar shower, basically, is what I call it. It's not a medical term, but that means you got to, every day, it's what your daily actions, every day. I told you every day you get new hemoglobin every day. Well, why don't you make sure those are the healthy ones? You make sure those are the healthy ones, and you lower your A1C naturally. This is why people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you just put them on the right food system. 14 days, they lowered their A1C from an 8 to a 6. 14 days, from a 7.1 to a 5.7 in 14 days. That's it. That's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. A lot of people are joining this challenge. You want to join that challenge, use that discount code PROGRESS. What is the best, lowest A1C number you have seen? What is the best, lowest A1C number you have? You ideally want your A1C to be at about a 5. That's what I'll say that. I'm not sure what you mean by that question, but ideally you want your A1C at about a 5. Or ish, somewhere around the 5. I'm all ears because I'm not taking that unicity. You said it, I didn't say it. You said it, I didn't say it, right? This is, and this, supplements and stuff, they're great and all that stuff, but here's the thing. Nutraceuticals, whatever you want to call them, they're great, but here's the thing. You're not going to you're not going to bring down, you're not going to naturally lower your A1C and leave it there. I'm talking about leave it there, unless you change what you're eating. If you change what you're eating, you can do all this stuff naturally. It's 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. All we're doing is changing what you're eating. That's those foods, those veggies. If you downloaded the ultimate veggie guide, so we got, what are we going to be eating? Veggies. We're going to be eating beans. We're going to be eating leaner sources of protein. Chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, right? This is what we're eating in the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. We're just going to change the order in which you eat it, because that's the most important thing. 14 days, you lock in, folks, your blood sugar. You will never be, your 2026 is going to look way different than your 2025. Use that discount code PROGRESS. Let's see. I ate ice cream before I took the test. Does that interfere with numbers? Yeah, if you ate ice cream the night before you took the test, it's going to have a huge impact. Okay, yeah. The big one. Is a 5 bad? No, a 5 bad. What do you mean? A 5 is great. What are you talking about? Is a 5 bad? That's the ideal number. That's fantastic. It's 5 bad A1C. LOL. Yup. Okay. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? Well, I think that. Let me make sure. I'm going to answer that on intermittent fasting. But let me make sure that y'all got this, right? Y'all understand what it means to have a high hemoglobin A1C. If you have a high hemoglobin A1C, it means that you are, the faster you're checking out of here, the faster you've got a date with the Grim Reaper. But if you change that, your hemoglobin A1C, what you can affect it in a positive way in as little as 2 weeks. That's why I said your next A1C test could shock you. In as little as 2 weeks, you join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, which I created for you because I had diabetes, I had heart disease, and I was obese, because I get it. I get how frustrating it is to have high blood sugar every single day. I dealt with it. I showed you the pictures. It was me. Now, no more diabetes. Now my A1C is back to where it was. I feel like a freaking kid again. Yeah. Thoughts on fasting. Is if you are not metabolically flexible, you should not be fasting, right? Fast a minimum of 12 hours every night. A minimum of 12 hours every single night. That's it. That's how often you fast. That's where you start. And then the next week you go to 13 hours. Then the next week you go to 14 hours of fasting. Then you go to 15 hours of fasting the week after that. Then you go to 16, right? You see what you're doing there? You're building yourself up to fast. because you can't just fast. You can't just fast by waking up in the morning. You can't be insulin resistant, very, very insulin resistant, and then go fast. That's kind of like, you can't be a couch potato one day and go run the Boston Marathon the next day. You can't do it, right? You have to train for it. You got to train. So you train, then you can run the marathon. You train, then you can fast. Train for it. That's my thought process on it, right? But it's a great tool to use. But if you try to do it too early in the beginning and your metabolism, your energy is already jacked up, that's not good. You're gonna feel it. So train. So in this, I'm gonna teach you how to fast in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I am going to teach you how to fast. How do you get to the challenge? Some people saying they want to join the challenge. Here it is. So if you click here, and then you click on my picture again. If this is making sense to y'all, folks, I want to make sure this is making sense before we move on. Here it is. The 14-day. There's a lot of goodies on my page. It's a lot of goodies, folks. It's a lot of freebies. The ultimate veggie guide right here. What veggies should you be eating? You're probably like, well, what veggies should I be eating, man? Like, well, what's the recommended veggies? Onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, you know what I mean? Spinach, cucumber, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots. Yeah, all of these veggies that you're naming. Like, what's the recommended? Give me a list, Kelley. Okay, I got you a list right here. And it's called the Ultimate Veggie Guide right there. There it is. Bada bing. Ultimate Veggie Guide. There's a lot. There's also a masterclass free. The Ultimate Veggie Guide, that's free. You can take the quiz, that's free. Man, a lot of goodies on that page. But this one is the big one, folks. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is for my folks who are ready for serious change. I'm talking about in 2026, they are ready for change. Nah, whatever I gotta do. I know what it is that I want. This is what they say. I know what it is that I want. And I want to defeat type 2 diabetes. I want to defeat insulin resistance. And I want to bring my hemoglobin A1C down. I'm ready to do the work. If you're ready to do the work, this 14-day challenge is for you. You are ready to do the work, but only if you're ready to do the work. You're not ready to do the work, it ain't gonna be for you. I told you it's a challenge. See where it says accept the challenge? It's a challenge. What you can expect for me to take you outside of your comfort zone, right? Because that's where it is. Everything that you want and you don't have it yet, it's outside of your comfort zone. So the question is, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to get outside of your comfort zone? That's the question. Because that's the only way you're going to defeat type 2 diabetes. You ain't going to defeat it inside of your comfort zone. That's what you can expect. It's 14 days. It is a blueprint. Everything's designed for you. All you got to do is show up and do the work. The recipes are designed for you. See, she's got the recipes and all that stuff, writing stuff down. It's all designed for you. Okay? You just got to do the work. You got to it's all about mindset at this point. That's it. That's all it's about. Because the blueprint's right here. I created it for you because I was a diabetic. I had heart disease and I was obese. Normally $99 to join that challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS, that's the live discount code. Use that discount code PROGRESS. That's what you're going to join the challenge for. $79, 20% off to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge when you use that discount code at checkout. Over 400 people have joined this challenge, by the way. Some of them have been taken off of their medication, okay? Some of them have taken their A1C from an 8 to a 6 in 14 days. From a 7.1 to a 5.7. And then there's Janet, she's the oldest person who's joined the challenge, 80 years old. And at 80, folks, 80 years old, she lowered her A1C from an 8 to a 6.5 right here. It was at an 8, went back 2 weeks after the challenge, 6.5, and she's 80. Ken, who's 74, he's the second youngest, I think, 74 years old. He joined the challenge. He took his fasting blood sugar he's had diabetes for 30 years. He dropped his fasting blood sugar 120 points in 14 days. 120 points, the average. Took his A1C from an 8 to a 6.5 as well, and he's 74. Had it for 30 years. So it doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how long you've had it. If you give your body the right tools that it needs, it will repair itself. If you ain't in the dirt pushing up daisies, your body will heal itself. I promise you it will. So do I. I'm ready, man. Help me, please, sir. Apple, if you are ready, if you say you're ready, you click that link in my bio, you join that challenge right now. If you say you're ready, it sounds like the 14-day challenge is calling your name. Your next steps are simple, and it's to join that challenge and start reversing. Start, keyword to start. You need a starting point. Are you going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days? No, you ain't do that. But you're going to have to start somewhere. And this 14 days is the most powerful thing that you can do. Okay? It's a system. Over 400 people have done it. I've done it. I showed you my pictures. All right? I created it for you because I don't want to see you go through the same thing that I went through. I figured it out, so damn it, why not help you do it? But the reason I got to charge you for it is because I want you to take it seriously. I want you to take this 14-day challenge seriously. So it's $79 to join that challenge if you use that discount code, PROGRESS. Apple, yep, shout out to you, Apple. It can definitely be done. It took mine from a 12 to 7 in 3 months. Now I'm down to a 6.5, from a 12 to a 7 in 3 months. From a 12 to a 7 in 3 months. Amazing. It's amazing stuff. Yeah. It's amazing stuff. I love it. I have a client. She has taken her. She has lost 52 pounds in 3 months, and she works the night shift. Right? She works the night shift. 15 pounds in 3 months. When you bring the insulin levels down, folks, the weight comes with it. Why is my doctor telling me diabetes is inherited? It is, because it is inherited. Well, to a certain extent. That's a very good question. It is inherited to a certain extent. Meaning if your mom and your dad have it, or whoever, and if it runs in your family, yeah, you're going to get it too. Why are you going to get it too? Well, it's because you live the same lifestyle that they did. If you live the same lifestyle that they did, your family members did, you're going to get the same conditions that they got. But here's where it gets fun. If you switch your lifestyle, change your lifestyle, because diabetes is a dietary condition, you change that, the chances of you getting type 2 diabetes are greatly decreased. Greatly decreased, because it's a dietary and lifestyle driven condition. The only thing that's inherited is bad lifestyle choices. Bad lifestyle choices. For instance, showed you my pictures. I was diagnosed with the same thing. My mother passed away about probably like 3 months before I took this picture, right? From heart disease, insulin resistance, all of that stuff, right? I go to the doctor 3 months later, and I get diagnosed the same thing that she got diagnosed with 3 months later. 3 months after she passed, same thing she did. Why? Because I lived the same life. My mom and I, we ate the same food. We lived the same lifestyle. You know what I mean? What moms cook, we eating. Check it out. You see this picture right here? That's called no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. Right? Same thing that my mother passed away from. I don't have it anymore. I don't. Full metabolic restoration. You see it? You see the picture? So how do you explain that? Didn't my mother have it? Isn't it inherited? Right? It's inherited. So when I say yes and no, that's what I mean. Yes, it is inherited, but no, you don't have to deal with that. You can flip the whole script. You make a choice right now. You can flip the whole damn script. My grandmother and her children always was diabetics. I had diabetic pregnancy once. Okay. Gestational diabetes. Yes. Totally get it. I'm in. I'm at it, and I'm ready. You joined the 14-day challenge? Let me see. Shout out to you for joining that challenge. You did. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If you show up, let me see who said that. Let me see who just joined the challenge. Roswell 5. If you show up, you do the work. Man, you're gonna get the results. I'm excited for you, boss. I'm excited for you. Thank you for the daily heart me. Clean your blood, diabetes goes away. That's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. How do you clean your blood? Basically, every day you get new hemoglobin blood cells, new blood cells every day. So why? Depending on what you eat, it will determine if those are going to be coated with excess sugar or not. You've got a choice. That's it. You got a choice. Are they going to be coated with the excess sugar or not? So basically, I call it taking a blood sugar shower. Yes, take a blood sugar shower. How do you take a blood sugar shower? Based on the foods that you're eating, based on how you're moving your body, based on how you're eating, definitely how you're eating, and how you're sleeping. That's it. Those are the 4 areas. What's up, TikTok Pam? What's up, TikTok Pam? Oh, yeah, for my folks who want to join the challenge, you use that discount code, Progress. You join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for 20% off. You join that 14-day challenge. So, folks, is this making sense to y'all on what a hemoglobin A1C is and how you don't have to deal with this for the rest of your life unless you just really want to, because you've got a choice. You've got a choice. I told you earlier in insulin resistance. Remember we were in insulin resistance earlier? I showed you earlier how to defeat insulin resistance. I showed you. It's the food that you're eating. We talked about what is insulin resistance and then how do you fix it. Insulin, if you have high insulin resistance, which is going to cause a domino effect. It's going to cause you to have high blood sugar, which is going to cause you to have a high hemoglobin A1C, which is ultimately going to cause you to leave the earth 50 decades too soon, way earlier than what you should. Because hemoglobin is so important that if you don't have enough of it, the doctors will give you a blood transfusion. Think about that. Think about how important hemoglobin is. If you don't have enough of it, your hemoglobin drops too low, maybe I'm not a doctor, it's not medical advice, but I've been in an emergency room or two with some family members and friends, you know what I mean? When it gets to about 7-ish, 7, that's, you know what I mean? They got a blood transfusion time. That's low. You know what I'm saying? Because they need to save your life. Because you need to breathe. Right? That's what hemoglobin is. So that's all stems from insulin resistance. You fix the insulin resistance, folks. You fix your A1C, your hemoglobin A1C. You don't, and then you add more years back to your life. How many more years? Decades. That's how many more years you add back to your life. When I know what my A1C, when I dropped all the weight, reversed diabetes, I added a lot of years back to my life. I wrote a book called Plants Saved My Life. Had I not started eating a whole bunch of vegetables and all kinds of stuff that I wasn't eating before, I wouldn't be here, folks. I wouldn't be here. You'd be on somebody else's live right now. At 40 years old, this is when I took this picture at 40. 41, no, I took that picture at 41 years old. 41 years old when I took that picture. And I took this picture at the end of my 42nd birthday right here. Right before my 42nd birthday, I took this picture. 41, 42, right? You see the difference? I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice whether I was going to go out like that or not. Because we all got to go out. Depends on how you go out is the question. And I said to myself, I ain't going out like that. I ain't going out because I dug a grave with my teeth. I ain't going out like that. We all got to go, but don't go out like that. You feel what I'm saying? That's a hemoglobin A1C. That's why you got to bring this number down. You start bringing your number back down. Like, for instance, I told you Ken, he came on live and he shared his story, 74 years old. You want to know what he told me his goal was? His goal was to live to 100 years old. That was his goal. He's 74. He's got about another quarter century, 25-ish more years. He said that was his goal. But he said, this is what he said. He said, I know that if I don't fix this diabetes, I know that if I don't fix this insulin resistance, which I've had for 30 years, I know that if I don't fix this, I won't make it to 100. I won't make it. We all got to go, but don't go out like that. He joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and he lowered his blood sugar 120 points. His A1C went from an 8 to a 6.5 in 14 days. Right, 1.5. He dropped his A. He dropped it. Now he says my goal is to get it down to the 5s. Right. Started off in the 8s. Now he's talking about the 5s. This is the power of food, folks. Your body wants to heal. All you got to do is give it the food that it needs, because that's where type 2 diabetes comes from. The food, you give it what it needs, it will fix itself. That's it. You don't give it what it needs, it won't fix itself. It's as simple as that. It's as cut and as dry as that. There's a couple other factors involved in it, like sleep and stress management and all that stuff. Like all of that stuff comes into play. But the real play is the freaking food. You join this 14-day challenge, we're going to clean that whole thing up. So your next steps are simple. If you've had diabetes for many years and you're frustrated with it, your next steps are simple. It is to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It's linked in my bio. You use that discount code PROGRESS, $79 to join that 14-day challenge. There's also a lot of goodies on there as well. On my page, there's the Ultimate Veggie Guide. If you have not gotten the Ultimate Veggie Guide, folks, it's absolutely free. The Ultimate Veggie Guide. Like, what kind of veggies should I be eating, Kelley, for this freaking insulin resistance? Like, what kind of veggies should a diabetic eat? Well, you download the Ultimate Veggie Guide, folks. Ultimate Veggie Guide. Let me show you where that is. You click here. Click on my picture again. The Ultimate Veggie Guide is right here. There it is. You see that? The Ultimate Veggie Guide. It is my gift to you, folks, for being on my live today. You go grab yourself the Ultimate Veggie Guide, and you take this thing with you. You'll be able to hold it in your hand. So when you're at the grocery store, like, what was those veggies that he said? All you got to do is go back to your Ultimate Veggie Guide and be like, oh yeah, these veggies. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's a lot of goodies on my page. I'm glad Jay here. Thank you. I love you. Apple, shout out to you. I'm glad I'm here. Love you too, Apple. Hey, Kelley, I don't have a card, but I have the cash. How can I get the product and get you your cash? It's all, if you have PayPal, all the other services that you can do. But I don't want to take your cash. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But we want to make sure it's secure. You know what I'm talking about? I had a blood transfusion 2 years ago. Yeah. Let's see. Here it is. See, any questions? We got a lot of likes in here. The things we know today would have saved so many lives in the past. Yep. You're right. The things we know today. And one of the things that we know today, like my sister passed away at the age of 55 years old, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. All right. This stuff will save a lot of lives. She passed away from diabetes 2 years ago. Save a lot of lives, folks. We know what we know. We know now that diabetes is reversible. We know now, and we know now that it comes from the food. That's what we know. We know that. So if we know that, you tell me that, I'm gonna find out how to defeat type 2 diabetes. That's what I did. No more diabetes, no more heart disease. Let's see. My last A1C was a 10. I'm going to Tuesday to check it again, I think. You're gonna go Tuesday. Yeah, 10 is high. So that means that what that means is you got a lot of percentage of sugar that's stuck to your hemoglobin, which is causing you to age a lot faster than what you like. So you start bringing those numbers down. You're gonna start adding more years back to your life. That's it. That's how it works. That's the circle of life, as they say. Circle of life. So any other questions? Any other questions? Folks, we're talking about all things insulin resistance, high blood sugar, high A1C. Why do you get a high blood sugar? Why do you get a high A1C? Well, you get all of that high stuff because you got insulin resistance. This is making sense to y'all, folks. I want y'all to put a health yes on the board. I mean, in the chat. Because we covered two major areas, folks. We covered two major things. Number one thing we covered this morning was Insulin resistance, right? What the hell is insulin resistance? The next thing that we covered is, once we figured out what insulin resistance was and how to defeat it, the next thing we covered was hemoglobin A1C. That's what we did next. Now we're going to figure out, folks, what are the foods that we got to eat? The foods that we have to eat to defeat insulin resistance. What are they? That's what we're going to cover next. But I want to make sure that you guys know what a hemoglobin A1C is and how significant this number is. How significant it is. All right, no questions. Here we go. Next topic of the day. Next topic of the day, folks, is what do you actually eat? I've given you the ultimate veggie guide, right? I gave you the ultimate veggie guide, but that's just the veggie guide, right? There's other areas too, like there's like fruits, there's fruits, there's other vegetables, there's nuts and seeds, there's like beans, there's leaner sources of protein. So whether that be chicken, whether that be turkey, whether that be steak, whether that be eggs, right? Fish, you got to know what you're eating. So this is what we're going to play. We're going to play a little game of diesel fuel versus unleaded fuel. Diesel versus unleaded. I like to do my blood sugar matrix one, but I can't do the blood sugar matrix because TikTok doesn't like that one too much. Okay, it doesn't like whenever I do the blood sugar matrix. So instead, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do diesel fuel versus unleaded. Your fuel source. As a type 2 diabetic, what are the foods that you should be eating? That is the question. I gave you the ultimate veggie guide, but what are the rest of the foods? That's the big question. Think of food like this. Think of it like when you go to the gas station. You're going to get, what are you going to get? You're going to get unleaded, right? When you pull up to the gas station every week, you're going to get unleaded, or you're going to get diesel fuel, right? These are the two fuel sources. So as a type 2 diabetic or someone with insulin resistance, this is how I want you to think about everything that you eat going forward. Everything is going to affect your blood sugar in some way, somehow. You pull up to the gas station. If you put unleaded into your car is going to run like a champ. That's it, every week. You just go to the gas station and it fills up, right? Every week, that's it. I eat yellow yam broccoli. Okay, we're going to play a little game. When you put that unleaded fuel into your car, it runs like a champ. But what happens one week if you accidentally put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine? Folks, what do you think is going to happen to your engine? What's going to happen to your engine if you put this diesel fuel into, let's just say you got a Toyota Camry, right? You got a Toyota Camry and you pull up to the gas station and you put diesel fuel accidentally into your car, or maybe even on purpose. Who knows? What's going to happen? It's going to blow. That's it. Your engine is going to blow. That's it. You ain't even going to make it to the light by the time your engine blows. So I want y'all to do this. We're going to play a little game. And I need your participation on this, folks. Unleaded fuel will be something like kale and we'll say eggs, right? These are unleaded fuel sources. The diesel fuel side, we got diesel fuel, we got cakes, cookies, and cookies, right? I'm going to put kale, I'm going to put eggs over here. Boom. These are the two fuel sources. So let's play a little game, folks. Name out your favorite food. So whatever your favorite foods are, name them out. Name out your favorite food. It doesn't even have to be your favorite food. It can just be food in general. I want you to name out these foods, folks. You name out these foods. So whatever they are, whether they be pizza, whether they be lasagna, whether it be broccoli, whether it be spinach, whether it be all of the crappy stuff that we're eating. So how do you reverse type 2 diabetes? This is how you got to reverse it. Are the foods that you're eating. So name out your foods, folks. What are they? Let's play this game. I need your participation on this. So we got kale on this side. We got eggs over here on the unleaded. We got cakes over here. We got cookies over here on the diesel fuel side. Name out your foods, folks. Here we go. Bacon. That's a good one. Right out there. You're coming right out of the gates with the diesel fuel. Bacon. You coming right out of the gates with the diesel fuel. A hamburger, right? A hamburger. Maybe if you make your own hamburger at the house. But if you're talking hamburgers from like a fast food joint or one that you just put up on the grill, nah, that's not going to help you with insulin resistance, folks. That's going to go on the diesel fuel side. Shrimp, you can put shrimp over here. We'll just put seafood. We'll put seafood over here, right? We'll put seafood on the unleaded side. What else we got? What else we got? Name out your foods, folks, whatever they are. Put them in the chat. Don't be bashful, folks. We don't have time to be bashful. We need to understand how to defeat type 2 diabetes. I need your participation. Put them in the chat, folks. Name your foods out. Pizza, there we go. Name your foods out, folks. The analogy goes like this. If you pull up to the gas station and you put unleaded fuel, you put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, the question is, what's going to happen? This is the fuel source, right? Everything that you eat, folks, is either going to be diesel fuel or unleaded fuel. Everything that you eat is going to be either hurting you or harming you. We put diesel fuel into our unleaded burning engine. The engine it ain't going to take it long for the engine to blow. It ain't going to take long at all. There we go. There we go. We got some stuff. We got some folks. There we go, folks. Salad. All right. Salad. We'll put greens over here. Because salad is vague, right? Like what kind of salad? There's a whole bunch of salads, right? But we'll put greens over here. I think I know what you mean. Rice. We'll put rice over here. So it doesn't matter what kind of rice. It doesn't matter if it's white rice, black rice, brown rice. You see what I got? I got an asterisk on it. I got an asterisk on the rice because those are the ones that you got to eat in moderation. I can show you how to eat that a little bit later. The rice. Meat. That's a it depends on what kind of meat are you talking about. Are you talking about bacon? That's going to go over on the diesel fuel side. Now, if you were talking if you were talking chicken, okay. I put chicken over here. I put that on the unleaded fuel side. But if we're talking bacon, I'm putting it over there. So it just depends on what you mean by meat. Let's see. Ooh, there, yeah, put the good stuff in there, folks. Avocado, yeah, avocado over here. Avocado goes right there. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day challenge. Shout out to you for joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge because we're going to clean up all of this confusion. Check your email, check your text, and log in and get to work. Log in to your portal and get to work. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day challenge. All right, let me see. I'll get the black rice. Okay, hot links, turkey bacon. Oh, banana. Oh, they're coming in too quick. Come on. Let me see if I can get to them. Avocados, yeah. Spaghetti. Spaghetti is going to go over. Spaghetti. I'll put pasta right here, right? But here's the thing about pasta. Am I saying you can't ever have pasta? No, but I'm going to put an asterisk on it though. Everything that I got an asterisk on, you got to use caution. You just can't be eating that. You know what I mean? You can't just wake up in the morning and eat a bowl of pasta. You can't do that, folks. If you got insulin resistance, no. You can't eat a bowl of rice like that. No. Turkey, bananas. Bananas are going to go over here, but again, with what? With an asterisk. Anything that raises our blood sugar, we're going to put an asterisk on it. So a lot of people are like, well, what's the red dots mean? Anything that has an asterisk raises your blood sugar significantly. Raises your blood sugar enough to notice. All right. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is going to go over here. But again, oatmeal, you got to use extreme caution with the oatmeal. I had to show you how to eat oatmeal. You just don't wake up in the morning and eat a bowl of oatmeal. There's a strategy. You gotta know how to eat the oatmeal, folks. Jimmy Dean's ground sausage. Jimmy Dean's right over here. I'll just put sausage. Doesn't matter the brand. So it could be Jimmy Dean. It could be Paula Dean. It could be it could be James Dean. It doesn't matter if it's sausage. You know what I mean? Turkey bacon. So there's two things. They got turkey meat and you got turkey bacon. Turkey bacon. So you got turkey. I'm gonna put turkey over here. Turkey. That's like, you know, the turkey you get like at Thanksgiving, right? That kind of turkey. But now, if you're talking turkey bacon is going to go over here on the diesel fuel side. It's still bacon at the end of the day. It's still got nitrates in it at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if it's turkey bacon or if it's pork bacon. It's got nitrates in it. And you don't want, that's diesel fuel, folks. High octane diesel fuel. Turkey bacon. All right. Hot dog links, hot links. I don't know what kind of hot links you're talking about, but they're going to go over here. Hot links. Hot links are going to go right there. All right. Pears are going to go right over here. I'm going to put that in the fruit category because there's a lot of fruit. So I'm going to put the fruit, but remember, anything that raises your blood sugar has a what? Has an asterisk. So fruit is going to raise your blood sugar. What else? What else you got, folks? Pasta turns into sugar. Yes, it does. It does turn into sugar. That's why we got an asterisk on it, right? All of this stuff right here that has an asterisk on it. Can you never not eat pasta? Yeah, you can eat pasta, right? You just got to do it in moderation. That's what the asterisk is all about. There's another segment on what moderation actually is, because moderation is just a vague word, right? It's just a vague word. Let's see. What breakfast meats would you recommend to have with eggs in it? The breakfast meat I would recommend to have are chicken, things like chicken, turkey that we named out, steak you could do fish like salmon, you could do that. You could do tofu, you could do tempeh, you could do those. Those are what you can have. But what you don't want to have is bacon, sausage, salami, pepperonis, hot dogs. That's not what you want to have with it. You know what I mean? That ain't what you want. Let's see. Pasta turns into sugar. You got enchiladas. Oh, enchiladas is gonna go over here. Enchiladas. How do you spell enchiladas? Enchiladas. Enchiladas. Go over here in the diesel fuel side. Now here's the thing, folks. I don't want you to be like, oh man, I can't eat anything. I can't eat anything. I don't want you like, I can't eat anything. Or it's about the 90-10 rule. Sorry, I got the numbers backwards. I got the numbers backwards. We gotta go 10% and 90%. All right, hold on real quick, folks. Give me 1 second. All right, folks, we're back. Sorry for the brief interruption. All right, where do we let? Oh, yogurt. Yogurt is gonna go over here. Diesel fuel. Yogurt. What else we got? Pork tenderloin. We're gonna just put pork over here. We're gonna put pork. No lips that touch swine will ever touch mine. Yeah, feel me? Yogurt, diesel fuel. Those two right there are big diesel fuel components right there. RIP bacon. Yeah. Bacon is a group 1 carcinogen, folks. You don't want a group 1 carcinogen. You don't want to eat any of those group 1 carcinogens. So yes, sayonara bacon, RIP. Here we go. Let's see what else we got. All right, I'm getting to them right now. Here they coming up. Brussels sprouts, protein shakes. Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna just put those over there. Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna put, okay, Brussels bee sprouts. That's one vegetable I cannot stand. If you look at my list, on that ultimate veggie guide, you're not gonna see Brussels sprouts on there. Yes, you can eat Brussels sprouts, but those things are so gross. If you can handle them, shout out to you. Protein shakes. It depends on the protein shakes. What kind of protein shakes are you talking about? Are you talking about the ones that you get off the shelves, the BS ones like the Glucerna and all those ones? Those are trash protein shakes. So it depends. If you're making protein shake at the house with it, maybe like a protein isolate, like a pea protein isolate, or if you're in the dairy, a whey protein isolate, right? Just depends. Blueberries. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. It's a lot of stuff coming in. Goji berries. Berries. Woo, berries. Yeah. Berries. Berries. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Right? But again, berries, anything that raises your blood sugar, what do we put? An asterisk. Anything that raises our blood sugar, we put an asterisk behind it, right? Okay, what else? Let's see. Tacos. Come on now. Come on now. Tacos. Listen, folks, am I saying that you can't ever have tacos again? It's about what you do most of the time, right? I put the percentages over here. 90-10. If you go 90%, 10%, if you're filling up at the gas station, your fuel source, if you're eating tacos, just make sure it's a small percentage of the time, like 10%. Try not to go over any higher than that, but focus more on this side. Let's see. Goji berries, we got that one. Tuna, you can put tuna over here. That's seafood, right? We just got seafood. And the safe space, we got seafood right there. Yeah, so tuna, there it is. Candied yams, okay, we'll just put potatoes. The candy part, did you say candy? No. You almost had me on that one. Potatoes. Potatoes are going to go over here, but you're going to eat them in moderation. Candied yams are, we're not going to candy the yams. I know that's in our culture. It's in my culture, right? Eat candy yams. We ain't going to eat candy yams, though, because it's already yams. It's going to raise your blood sugar. But if you add the candy to it, woo, that's going to make your blood sugar go so high that you couldn't even say what's up, say hi to your blood sugar, because it's going up there. You know what I mean? So take the candy off. That's another one. Candy. Thank you for saying that. Candy is going to go over here. Diesel fuel. Thank you for saying that. Squash. Squash is going to go over here. Those are veggies, right? Non-starchy veggies. Depending on what kind of squash, though. How about sweet potato pie? Nope. Sweet potato. We're just going to put pie over here. You tried me on that one. I see what you did there. I said potatoes. You're like, how about a sweet potato pie? So I'm just going to make it simple, and we're just going to put pie over here. Can you not have pie? You can have pie, very small percentage of the time, though. If you're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, you got to be very, very diligent about this percentage right here. You feel what I'm saying? Shakes, protein. Shakes, protein. Protein shakes, like the one that you get from the store, like the ones when you go to Sam's Club, those are trash. Those are going to go over here. I'm just going to put those over here. Shakes. Now, if you're talking protein shakes, the ones that you get from the like whey protein isolate, again, I don't recommend dairy, but if you do dairy, make sure it's a whey protein isolate. It's a better option. And pea protein isolate. That's it. Those are the only kind of proteins. How about wheat bread? Bread, you can put bread over here, but wheat bread is going to be a very, very small percentage of the time. You know what, folks? I'm going to start putting bread. I'm going to put bread I'm gonna put bread over here because a lot of people ask me about bread. But I'm gonna put bread with an asterisk. I'm changing the category on the bread. Can you have it? Yes. Very small percentage of the time. Asterisk. You know what I'm saying? Pasta, I might move pasta over there too, to the diesel fuel side. You know what I'm saying? I might move it over there. But I'm gonna, you know what I mean? It's laws you gotta obey. Tacos, we already got that. Tacos, diesel fuel. What about tortillas? Tortillas is going to tortas. What is tortas? Tortillas, or what do you mean? I don't know. Tortas. Whole wheat bread with fiber. If you're gonna do a bread, you're gonna do something like an Ezekiel bread. That would be a much better option. Something like Ezekiel bread. All right. Corn tortillas, right over here. Corn tortillas. That's gonna go with. I'm just gonna put that with the bread, right? It's the same thing. Similar, even though you're using corn, it's still the same. Still the same. Diesel fuel. Small percentage of the time. You can have it, but a small percentage of the time. What else? Pecan pie. We got pie right here, right? We got pie. Look, pie right here. I didn't specify on the pie because there's all different types of pies, right? Orchis triple zero sugar yogurt right over here. Zero sugar. Sugar free. Sugar free. Anything sugar free is artificial. Anything sugar free is artificial, right? Yogurt. You don't want yogurt because yogurt is dairy. We're gonna put dairy right here. I'm gonna put that all the way at the top because that stuff is scary. Dairy. Definitely diesel fuel. Nice, like the number one. Dairy and sausages and bacon. Out of all the diesel fuels, like dairy and bacon and all this stuff is diesel fuel, but these are some major key players. Bacon, dairy, because they cause serious consequences. You know what I'm saying? Whipped cream, ooh, that's dairy, right? To save space, we're gonna do whipped cream is gonna go here. That's dairy. That's dairy. Cottage cheese is gonna go right here. So let's put cheese. Dairy, right? Anything dairy is freaking scary. Cheese. I'm gonna circle that. I'm gonna circle the cheese. Because these are the major players, folks. These are the ones that cause, these are the ones that's serious. These are the serious ones. Right? All right, what else you got? Grits. Ooh, grits. Grits is going to go over here. For type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar, grits is not going to be your friend, folks. You know what I'm saying? Grits ain't going to be your friend. Sardines, if you can stomach sardines, I'm going to put them over here. If you're brave enough to eat sardines, I can't get with it. But you can knock yourself out. But that's going to go in the seafood category. Seafood. How about honey? Oh, good one. That's a very good one. Thank you for asking that, William. But honey, right over here. See, most people think honey is good. Honey does have some benefits, but the cons outweigh the pros. For the diabetic, honey, the cons outweigh the pros, folks. Okay? They outweigh them. Collard greens, those are greens, right? We got greens right here, collard greens. Now, if you're talking about the traditional collard greens that we eat in my community, no, not those kind of collard greens. You're going to have to switch up the recipe a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? You have to switch it up. But collard greens, yes. The way that we make them, nah. Cabbage, yes. Cabbage greens, right? Those are cabbage. Same thing. Same thing applies with the cabbage. The way that we make them, nah. No. Diesel fuel. If you make it the way that we make it, I'm going to put it in the diesel fuel category. But if you make it the healthier way, I'm going to put it in the unleaded category. So that's what I say about collard greens, cabbage, you know what I'm saying? All of that. What do unleaded and diesel mean? I just got here. If you just got here, folks, here's what unleaded and diesel fuel means. This is about getting healthy. This is about lowering your A1C. This is about defeating insulin resistance, folks. Everything that you eat is responsible for if you're going to have diabetes or not. Everything that you eat. So you're going to be eating unleaded fuel or diesel fuel. What the hell's unleaded fuel? What the hell's diesel fuel? You pull up to the easiest way to say it, you pull up to the gas station, you don't put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine. What happens if you put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine? It is going to break down, isn't it? Your check engine light is going to come on. Everything's going to come on. Your car is going to start freaking clunking like crazy. And you see, this is all the diesel fuel. Now, you think about that as in your body when it comes to defeating type 2 diabetes. You put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, which you're supposed to have unleaded. This is the good side. You fill up on unleaded, your car runs like a champ. Your body runs like a champ. You fill up on diesel fuel, your body runs like straight up trash. That's how your body works. Pull up to the gas station, you put that diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, it is going to clunk, and it's going to, you're not even going to make it to the light. The check engine light's going to come on. You got to go to the freaking Firestone, right? It's the same thing that's happening to you in your body because you fill up on diesel fuel too much, like I did. And as a result, now your body's breaking down. Now you got insulin resistance. Now you got a high A1C. Now you see what I'm saying, folks? It all goes back to the food. I told y'all that from the beginning. People ask, how do you fix insulin resistance? This is how you do it. You switch your fuel sources. You do that, insulin resistance goes away. That's how you fix it. Grits. Yeah, I did grits already. Sweet potatoes, honey. You can make healthy tacos and you can make healthy enchiladas as usual in moderation. Yeah, okay. Thank you for saying that. All right. Oh, okay. We'll put, I put, okay, tacos. But most of the time, when people are talking tacos, and okay, you can make healthy enchiladas. All right, we'll put that. We'll put asterisks on them. Everything that has an asterisk, you got to be careful with it, right? That's what the asterisks are for. So you can make a healthy taco, but if you go into Taco Bell, which people are probably talking about when they say tacos, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're talking about. Nuts, cassava. So let's go nuts. Cassava, that's a fruit, right? I think cassava, that's a fruit. Is that a veggie? Yeah, but I know it's a non-starch. I think it's a non-starchy veggie. Good morning, honey. We got honey over here already, y'all. Sweet potato, we got potatoes over here, right? But with moderation, right? In moderation. Honey for the diabetic is a no-go, right? Nuts, I've been having issues with eating right. If you've been having issues with eating right, Nikki, then it sounds like the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is calling your name. It is a 14-day blood sugar reset for my folks who are a little bit confused about the difference between diesel fuel versus unleaded fuel. If you having that issue, if that's your issue, that's the problem that we're here to solve. Because I get it. I get how frustrating it is to have type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar. I did it. I had it. I don't have any of that anymore. That's why I created this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for you. I created it for you so that you can get yourself out of that hole that you're in. In 2026, let's get you out of that hole. You join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Use the discount code PROGRESS. That's how you're going to start getting yourself out of the hole that you're in. Okay? The hole that I was in, I got myself out of it. I'm passionate now about getting you out of it. Because I don't think no one should have to lose their life. No one should have to lose their life 15, 20, 30 years too soon. Nobody. I don't think that's right. You join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, you won't have to deal with that. You're adding years back to your life. Because when you lower your A1C, which people have done in this 14-day challenge, 2 points, 1.5 points, you do that, you add many, many years back to your life. Same thing I did. I don't have diabetes anymore, heart disease, obesity. You want to join that challenge? Link in my bio, more about it. Use that discount code PROGRESS, 20% off to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Also, folks, in my bio, if this is all confusing to you, you can actually go download the ultimate veggie guide. The ultimate veggie guide. Like you talking about these veggies, like nobody's really naming any veggies, but the ultimate veggie guide is going to clean it all up. You can take it with you to the store. Be like, hey, what are those veggies that Kelley set up on that board? I don't remember. Let me pull out the ultimate veggie guide, and you can see while you're at the store, right? Download that. It's absolutely free. All you got to pay is attention. The ultimate veggie guide. My gift to you for joining my live today. So shout out to you. Congratulations on getting that ultimate veggie guide. Let's see. But for my folks who are ready for serious change, the 14-day challenge. That's the one. That's the one. Bread. We already got bread. We did bread. William, we already did it. Bread is right here, right? We already did bread. Got an asterisk on it. Butter. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Butter is going to go over here. Why butter over here? Because it's dairy. And dairy is what? Scary, right? That's why. Fairlife chocolate protein. If it's if that's dairy, is that dairy? If that's dairy, chocolate milk. Yeah. Diesel fuel. What's up, Brandy? Sourdough bread. Here's the thing about sourdough bread. It's still bread. If you're gonna get sourdough bread, make sure it's the authentic bread. Because the bread that you see in the store, it ain't the authentic sourdough bread. You feel me? Skinny popcorn, right? Popcorn can go over here. I'm gonna start putting popcorn over here. I'll put popcorn over here. Depends on the popcorn, right? Try to get the one without the dairy in it. You know what? I'm gonna put it over here. Let's just say you want to go to the movies. You want to eat some popcorn. But here's the thing. Here's the only way that you can go to the movies and eat popcorn. If you're as a type 2 diabetic, here's the only way that you can go to the movie and eat popcorn. You fill up you have your meal first, a high satiating meal with a lot of protein and a lot of fiber, right? And then you say, all right, family, we're going out to the movies. I want to have some popcorn. All right, you can have some popcorn. All right, some butter, a small percentage of the time. Listen, you don't have to be perfect. You have it after your meal. You don't just go to the movie, you're hungry, and what do you get for your meal? You get popcorn as your meal, as your snack. You don't do that. That's going to cause your blood sugar to go wacky. Don't do that. So there's rules to the game, folks. Honey, we already got honey, William. It's right over here, boss. Honey, right here, diesel fuel. For the diabetic, the cons outweigh the pros. That's why it goes in the diesel fuel category. Research sourdough, please. Yes, you research sourdough. Yes, you do. The ones from the store, that's not traditional sourdough bread. But at the end of the day, sourdough bread is still white bread. It's still processed. It's still going to raise your blood sugar. Small percentage of the time, have some sourdough bread, right? We're talking about for the diabetics. If your blood sugar is good, if you're metabolically flexible, have all the freaking sourdough bread that you want. You know what I'm saying? But if you've got type 2 diabetes and high blood sugar, you got to use some caution. Y'all making me hungry. Yeah. Sweet potatoes. Yeah, we got it over here. Brandy. Sweet potatoes, unleaded. Depends on how you eat it, though. Louisiana meat pie. That's a good one. I'm running out of space, so let me put meat pie. Meat pie. It doesn't matter where it's from. It doesn't matter if it's from Louisiana. It doesn't matter if it's from Jamaica. It's still a meat pie. You know what I'm saying? you know what I mean? Tortas are fried, definitely diesel. You said it, not me. Nuts. We got nuts over here. We already got nuts on the unleaded side, right? We got nuts over there. Broccoli. Yeah, broccoli. Good one. Broccoli. This is one of the ones that are on that veggie guide, the ultimate veggie guide that I told you about. Broccoli is one of those on that list. Go down, get yourself a copy of the broccoli. I mean, of the ultimate veggie guide. Go get it. I keep saying beans. Okay, yeah, beans. Ooh, let me put those up here. All right. Sometimes you got to put it in there twice because it's a lot of people in the chat. It's a lot of folks in the chat, so you got to put it over here. But beans, beans are going to, the reason I put that, let me put a star on that. The beans are going to be the freaking star of the show. Why? Is because those are resistant starch. Black beans, red beans, navy beans, cannellini beans, chickpeas. These are going to be the pinto beans. These are going to be the star of the show. Because folks, if you got insulin resistance, you got high blood sugar, beans are going to be your best freaking friend. You feel me? beans. You know, in the 14-day challenge, we're gonna be eating beans. Look at that. You're gonna be eating beans in the 14-day challenge because beans are like the yin. What's the yin and the yang? The yin and the yang to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. You want to know what the yin is to the yang? Beans. Beans are the yin and the yang. They're the total opposites of each other. So beans are going to be a monster, folks. Get yourself some beans. RIP to the sugar-free. Yeah, sugar-free is, whoo, it ain't good for you, folks. It ain't good for pudding. Pudding is going to be over here. Depends on the pudding. How you making this pudding? You're talking about a traditional pudding that you just get from the store? But I think that's what you're talking about. So I'm going to put that definitely diesel fuel. Pudding. Okay? Corn is bad. You can do corn if you want to do corn. But again, asterisks, right? Asterisks. Moderation. These ones that I got over here, moderation. Yeah. Butter, we got butter over here. Butter is going to be, what do we put? Butter is here because butter is part of the dairy family. Anything part of the dairy family is definitely going to go in the diesel fuel category, folks. Sugar-free is the only option for diabetics as we love sweets. No, sadly, I'm sorry to be the one that breaks this to you, Anna. Sugar-free is not the only option. Number one, sugar-free is terrible. Sugar is terrible, but sugar-free is terrible too. There are some other options, but I'm going to tell you what sugar-free is. Sugar-free is you've got a real body, right? Sugar-free is another way of saying artificial. You've got a real body. So why would you put anything artificial into your real body? Yeah, it's not going to raise your blood sugar. It's not going to raise your blood sugar, but it's going to cause you to be more insulin resistant. It's going to cause you to destroy your gut. And at the end of the day, after you do all of that, you're still going to crave sugar because your body is not dumb. Your body knows the difference between real sugar and artificial sugar, sugar-free. You know what I'm saying? A better option will be this. A better option will be this for sweeteners. Stevia, monk fruit. I can't even put it up here, but I'll put monk fruit as one. Allulose. You probably never even heard of these. Allulose. And stevia. Put stevia over here. Those are the sweeteners, folks. These are the ones that do not raise your blood sugar the right way, not like artificial sugars. Stevia, monk fruit, allulose, folks. Nuts, yeah, we talked about nuts already. Got nuts up there. Agave is going to definitely go, it's going to go with the honey, right? Agave is going to go, it's the same thing as the honey. You're talking about concentrated sugar? You want to know a fun fact? Agave it's sweeter than sugar. It has more fructose than sugar. It means it's super, super sweet, which means it's worse for you. Agave is worse for you than freaking sugar because it's more potent. You feel me? I like the guy who always comes on and say, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the guy I'm talking about. He comes on, you feel me? Cornbread dressing. No, I'm running out of space. But cornbread, anything cornbread is going to go over here. I'm going to try to put that over here. Cornbread. We're running out of space, folks. Urcos? You mean Orcos? You mean the yogurt? No. Orcos yogurt? No, that's artificial, number one. And then it's artificial sugar. And then it's dairy. Remember what we said about dairy? It's freaking scary. So you want to stay away from dairy as much as you possibly can. Cheese. All of that stuff, man. Like dairy is doing a lot of damage to you that you don't even know. All you know is it tastes good. That's it. All you know is it tastes good. But if your body could talk, oh my God, it does talk actually. It tells you an inflammation. That's what it tells you. Acne. That's how your body talks to you when you eat too much dairy. Your joints hurt. You eat too much dairy because it's scary. Do you have a good recipe for collard greens? Do I have a good recipe for collard greens? I do have one inside of the 14-day challenge. You join the 14-day challenge. Go back to that go back to lesson number 1 and make that recipe, Brandy. That's a good recipe for just use collard greens. Any other just use collard greens. It's a great recipe. Lesson number 1 of that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I like you, sir. Nikki, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. That's awfully sweet of you. I like you too. Cauliflower, that's gonna go cauliflower, yeah. Over here. That's a part of the non-starchy veggies. Remember I said the ultimate veggie guide. You can go get the ultimate veggie guide. Talk about all of the non-starchy veggies. Cauliflower being one of those. I can't write anymore because we're out of friggin' space right here. I probably had to get my other board. We ran out of space. Let's see. Ribeye, that's gonna be steak. You want to make sure you get the leaner sources. If you get steak, whatever the leaner sources is. So if there's another option other than ribeye, okay, get that. We talked about steak. If there's a leaner option, get that. If you got something, a lot of my folks from Texas is going to be like, well, what about brisket? Well, if there's a leaner option over brisket, get the leaner option. You know what I mean? Get the leaner option. See, I told you somebody was going to ask brisket. Boom, there it is. There it is. Pudding desserts. No, pudding desserts, diesel fuel. Diesel fuel. Allulose. Yes, allulose is going to go over here on the unleaded side. Yes. Allulose. Stevia. Yes. Unleaded side, right over here. Boom. These are our sweeteners, folks. Peanut butter. Yes. Peanut butter, but it depends on the peanut butter. If you got the one with all of the ingredients, no. The one with a single ingredient, yes. All of the ingredients, no. Watermelon melons. Watermelons. Okay, watermelons, that's going to be a fruit. But, right, you got to know how to eat your fruit. Eat fruit. And when you think of fruit, think of it as a dessert. Think of fruit as a dessert. But yes, you can have watermelon. Just think of it the same way that you would think. Replace your ice cream with watermelon. Just think of it like that. Okay? Replace your pie with watermelon. You could do that. That would be a better option. It's a dessert. Right after your meal. Right after a high protein meal, right? You can have a dessert. High protein, high fiber meal. You can have yourself a dessert, which is what? Fruit. That's dessert. It's nature's candy, folks. It's nature's candy. Why is pork bad? And when it's number 1 of thiamine? Well, pork is. Have you seen how pork's made? Do you know what pork is? It's not clean. We talk about clean eating. Pork ain't it. You ever notice that smell when you eat? Yeah. Pork is not clean eating, folks. That's why it's going to go in the diesel fuel category. It don't matter if it's number 1 in thiamine. You know what I mean? They say dairy is good for calcium, but you don't want to drink no damn dairy though. You feel me? Pineapple, fruit, but here's the thing. Asterisk, right? Pineapple, higher glycemic. Is carb tortillas okay? We talked about tortillas, right? Look, we put tortillas over here, asterisk though, right? With the tortillas. That means you got to eat them in moderation. Don't go crazy with them. They are processed at the end of the day. You can make healthy Mexican food. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can make healthy anything. You can make healthy soul food, like what me and my people eat. You can make healthy that. You can make anything healthy. You've got a choice. Cassava is a vegetable. Yes, starchy. Okay, yeah. So if it's a starchy veggie, what are we gonna do? Put an asterisk on it. Anything that raises our blood sugar, boom, got an asterisk. Now talk about the dangers of phytochemicals in plants trying to kill you. Now that's overrated, Slim. That's overrated. It's doing the opposite of that. Phytonutrients is what the plants come from. Phyto means it comes from a plant. And what does that mean? Phyto means it's designed for disease prevention. That is what phyto means. Look it up. You ain't got to believe me. But what does the word phyto mean? It means it comes from plants. Number 2 definition, it means for disease prevention. So plants. All these plants, right? Protein shake. Again, you gotta specify on the protein shake, Mikey. What kind of protein shake are you talking about? There's a lot of different. Are you talking about the pre-made ones? Which one are you talking about? Is low carb tortillas okay? We talked about that. Eat rabbit food. Is that all rabbit food? You got seafood, you got chicken, you got You got turkey. You got maybe if you want to throw some tofu up here, we'll put some tofu. For my plant-based folks, tofu, right? Fish. Like, is that rabbit food? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Why is pork diesel fuel? Because pork is not a clean animal, folks. You see what pork, it's no lip that touch swine will ever touch mine, right? Pork is not clean. It's not considered clean eating, all right? If you see how the process goes of them making pork, if you ever see that process, you'll be like, yo, yeah, pork is, no lips that touch swine will ever touch mine. You feel me? All right, enough with the low carb tortilla reel. Geez, I got it over here. Beans, basically eat whole foods. Yes, that's it. Basically, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You eat real whole, unprocessed foods. Like people who have joined this 14-day challenge, you need a starting point because we're running out of room. So the question is, this is all great and everything, but what if you need a blueprint? What if you need a way to say, yeah, I need a blueprint. I need help. Like, please tell me how to do this. Please tell me. I need a blueprint. I need structure. I need someone to hold my hand every step of the way. Well, you asked for it and I got you. Okay. That's why I created the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. For my folks who are ready for serious change, say, they're ready for serious change to defeat type 2 diabetes. They're ready to lower their A1C, but they don't know how to do it. All they've been knowing is they just got to take this meds for the rest of their life. That's all they know. That's all the doctors told them. Shout out to my doctors, but that's all the doctor told them. That you just have to take this meds for the rest of your life. Well, folks, I got told the same thing. I got told the same thing, folks. Look. And shout out to you for joining that challenge. Shout out to you for joining that challenge. Folks, I got told the same thing. Look at that. I got told the same. I take meds for here, look, what, you want to know what I got prescribed right there? Statins. Okay? Statin. Heart disease. That's what I got. Metformin. That's what I got prescribed right there. You see this right here? Statin, heart disease. You see that? That was 11 months later. 11 months later, I took that picture. This was like in January of 2020. And this was in like January of, 2020. It was a year apart, right? It was a year apart. 2021 was the year I went on my mission. Now, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. How did I do that? All I did was switch from the diesel fuel to the unleaded fuels, right? From the diesel to the unleaded. From the diesel to the unleaded. That's all I did. That's all they did. That's all I did. And now, no more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. If you need a blueprint to start, you're not going to reverse type 2 diabetes overnight. But in 14 days, you're going to put it on notice. Over 400 people have joined this challenge. And they put type 2 diabetes on notice. I've worked with many people over the years who have reversed type 2 diabetes, just like I did. Full metabolic restoration. No more that remission crap. Like, that's the stuff that people tell you, remission, so that you don't actually have to do the work. Forget about remission, man. We're talking about reversal. We're talking about restoration, which 95% of the people can do. 95% of people can do what I did. 95%. But only about 5% will do it. 5 to 10% will do it. Out of all the people who've got type 2 diabetes, only 5 or 10% of people will actually take the action that is required to reverse it. 5%. It's a very small percentage, man. It's crazy. 95% of people won't. That's crazy. That's crazy work. You're telling me you'd rather lose your life 15, 20 years, 30 years too soon than to change what you're eating? Come on, man. That's crazy to me. So that's why I decided to change, because my mother died 3 months prior to me taking that picture from the same condition that I just got diagnosed with, folks. So it really doesn't matter. Pork chops, lamb, what's the best blood pressure? Pork is basically bacon, pork chop. You guys are really on the pork. Y'all are really on the pork. So if you're gonna eat your pork, eat your pork. It's not gonna raise your blood sugar, but for your overall, this is what I'll say about pork. It's not great for your overall health. Yeah, it's not gonna raise your blood sugar, but it's gonna clog the hell out of your arteries, and it's gonna cause more fat to build up in your organs. Right? It's loaded with saturated fat, and pork. Eating pork is not. It's not a great. It's not clean eating. You know what I'm saying? So if you eat pork, hey, that's your prerogative. Because I know a lot of people asking about pork chops, blah, ribs, all that. Just do it at your own risk. I'll say that. That's what I'll say. Just do it at your own risk. Eat your pork. Just do it at your own risk. The same thing with dairy. Eat your dairy. I don't recommend you have dairy, but eat your dairy. You do it at your own risk. People gonna do it any damn way, right? Do what you do. You're an adult. But I'm just telling you what's really going down. All right? You got a choice at the end of the day. I started the challenge and I started getting headaches. Yeah, it's going to be, it's called going through your detox phase. Your body is detoxing. It wants the old stuff. If you're in the challenge and you're getting headaches, that's good. Because your body wants that old stuff. It wants that old, you ever heard that song? I want that old thing back. You want that old thing back. So you get headaches, get lightheaded, you know what I mean? But once you get past that, after the first few days, you get past that, then it's all uphill from there. That's how it works. Your body is smart. It wants to hold on to that old stuff. Like, what are you doing? Giving me all this new, different food. Oh, what are you doing? And it doesn't like it. Doesn't like it when you switch from the diesel fuel at first. Your body doesn't like it when you switch from the diesel fuel to the unleaded. It hates it. It hates it. You get headaches, you get all of that stuff. You get hangry, maybe. It's gonna suck. But once you get past that stage, it's beautiful. Pineapples, lamb chops. You can do lamb, right? You can do lamb. That would be on the unleaded side. Yeah, I mean the way that they process, and then you got to think of what is a pork? What do pigs eat? Pigs eat their own, everybody else's species, everything. Like the process to see how they process pigs. Man, it's just feces all over the place. That's how they process all the animals, but specifically the pigs. You know what I mean? The pigs got it the worst. So, yeah, I don't recommend it. But again, at the end of the day, it's your prerogative. It's your prerogative, right? There's not enough bacteria. You could cook pork at as high as temperature as you want. You'll still never eliminate all of the bacteria in it that's causing you to have poor health. Like I said before, it's not going to raise your blood sugar, but it is going to cause you to have poor health. So again, a lot of folks are defending their pork. So if you want to eat pork, knock yourself out. It's the same thing with dairy. I don't recommend it, but knock yourself out. Because I know people are going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? It's my stance on it. How will the A1C shock me? Joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. In 14 days, people who have joined this 14-day challenge, some people have taken their A1C from an 8 to a 6 in 14 days, right? The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is a nutrition blueprint where we just clean up all of this stuff because that's what's causing it. You got to figure out what is causing you my insulin resistance, the food that you're eating. This 14-day challenge is a nutrition blueprint, all structured for my diabetics, folks who had diabetes, just like how I have diabetes. They don't want to have diabetes anymore. If you don't want to have diabetes, you don't want to have insulin resistance, if you don't want to have a high A1C anymore, which you shouldn't, I don't think anybody should have it should be insulin resistance. I don't think it's right. I don't think anybody should have to have high blood sugar. I don't think anybody should have to have all these freaking cravings, like someone was talking about cravings, sugar cravings. You get hungry, you get tired, you get all these freaking cravings. I don't think that's right. You shouldn't have to deal with that. You shouldn't have to deal with that. In 2026, there's more things for you to deal with than to be worried about your daggone blood sugar. Am I right or am I right? You know what I mean? Am I right or am I right? You got more stuff to deal with. You join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and you won't. You won't have to deal with that. That is one thing that you can put away on your list. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I don't have to deal with that because it's a blueprint. Same blueprint that I had diabetes. Over 400 people have joined this challenge, folks. We've got a lot of research. When do the cravings go away? Day 5, day 7, somewhere around there. People have lowered their A1C 8 to a 6. They're fasting blood sugar from over 500 to a 150 in 14 days. From a 500 to a 150 in 14 days. Some people have gone from a 386 down to a 107 at the end of day 14. Like 107. Start off at like a 386. It doesn't matter how old you are. Janet's 80 years old. She did the challenge, lowered her A1C 1.5 points from an 8 to a 6 in 14 days, and she's 80. So it doesn't matter how old you are. Age is just a freaking number, folks. You know what I mean? Like Aaliyah said, age is only a number. Shout out to Aaliyah. Is oatmeal good for you? We got oatmeal over here, but you gotta use it in moderation, right? You gotta eat it in moderation. What protein will slow absorption of fruit? You can do a protein powder, so whey protein isolate, or you can do a whey protein isolate. I don't recommend dairy, but a lot of people are going to do their dairy. But if you choose to do dairy, make sure it's a whey protein isolate. You can do a pea protein, but you can also do the other protein. So whether that be seafood, whether that be chicken, whether that be steak, whether that be eggs, you can do that with your fruit, right? Or you can do it with some fiber, right? Some greens, some veggies. What veggies? Download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's free. It's in link in my bio. The Ultimate Veggie Guide is absolutely free, folks. Oh, but for my folks who are ready to join that 14-day challenge, you use that discount code PROGRESS. That's the only thing that I got to charge you for. There's a quiz on there. There's a master class on there. It's free. The Ultimate Veggie Guide, absolutely free. You use this resource when you go to the grocery store. It's going to save your life, I promise you. But for my folks who say, damn it, I'm ready in 2026, that's me. I'm ready to forget about type 2 diabetes. I'm ready to put that shit to bed. Progress. $79 to join the 14-day challenge. Use that discount code, PROGRESS. It's normally $99. Progress is a discount code, 20% off. No bacon. Don't recommend the bacon, folks. If you do get the bacon, right? If you do get the bacon, it's going to be the nitrate-free bacon. There's a lot of folks going to ask about bacon at pork, right? Make sure you get the nitrate-free bacon. That's going to be more expensive, but don't go in the store and get the traditional bacon that you see at your local supermarket. Don't get that one, okay? And definitely don't, I would say don't get the pork at all, but definitely don't get that one. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to research how they process pork. Yes, research that. Stop eating pork 35 years ago. I'm so surprised that rice is on and pasta on the unleaded side. But you see there's an asterisk. Everything that has asterisks, you got to eat them in moderation. That's what the asterisk means. That's what the little dot means. It means you got to eat them the right way. You can have rice, you can have pasta, but you got to eat the right kind of pasta, and you got to eat it the right way. When I say the right kind of pasta, things like chickpea pasta or lentil pasta. I would prefer you not do pasta at all. I prefer you just have the chickpeas or the lentils. But if you say, damn it, I'm going to do some pasta, okay, you can do some pasta a very small percentage of the time. So make sure you do it in moderation. Step aside, please, so I can see the list. There we go. Here we go. China. Shout out to you, China. Lentils, yes. Lentils are going to go in the bean family. Shout out to the lentils. Yes. Lentils, beans, legumes. Yes. Lamb chop. We got lamb over here, so we put lamb. I think we put lamb chops over there, but you can put lamb chops on the unleaded side. But you have to eat right forever, not just when your A1C drops. Your pancreas is still insulin resistant. That's correct. You have to eat right forever. You have to maintain this pace. It's either this. It's either one of the two options. You ask me if you got to do this forever. What's the other option? Taking metformin forever, right? That's the other option. And not ever actually healing and getting down to the root cause of it, right? That's the other option. And you still be insulin resistant. You just took a bunch of medication to try to cover it up. But the second you stop taking that medication, it's going to come back. But this way, you choose this route. You eat this food. You got to eat food, right? You got to eat food. Am I right or am I right? You got to eat food. So why not eat the food that you're supposed to eat and live a whole hell of a lot longer and not freaking suffer with neuropathy and blurred vision and, you know what I mean, tiredness. You don't have to suffer through all of that. That's not right for you to have to do that. You join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and you won't have to deal with that. I don't think anybody should deal with that, folks. Use that discount code PROGRESS, because that's what you're going to make in 2026. Progress. Almond and cashew milk. Whoo! Good ones. Both are going to go over here. I'm running out of space, but almond milk, it will go over here. Almond milk, cashew milk will go over here. Regular milk is going to go over here on the diesel fuel side. And what else? Oat milk would also go on the diesel fuel side. Believe it or not, oat milk is going to go on the diesel fuel side. I'm sorry to hear about you losing your mom. You appreciate that. How old did she live to be? She passed away at the age of 67 years old. Thank you very much. For 67, right? This is still very young, right? All due to insulin resistance. 67. My mom left this earth way too soon, 67 years old. And my sister died 2 years ago, a couple of years ago, from this same thing. Complications of type 2 diabetes, of insulin resistance. Complications at 55. She was 55 2 years ago, 55. Our mother died 6 years ago, right? So appreciate you saying that. But here's the thing. I'm telling you that this is not a game, folks. This is not a game. You can reverse it. You can reverse type 2 diabetes, and you can add, you don't have to lose your life that young, 67, 55. You don't have to. You can live to freaking 85, 95, how you're supposed to live. You can see your grandkids grow up, right? You can see, you're like, oh, yeah, that's my grandson. You go to your grandson's basketball game. Yeah, that's my grandson. Shout out to my grandson. Shout out to my granddaughter. Oh, yay. They graduated. They got married. You're dancing at your granddaughter's wedding. You're dancing at your grandson's wedding. You 85, 90 years old. That's what you do when you lower your A1C. You add years back to your life. Many years. You don't lower your A1C, it stays high, you subtract years. And it's going to be miserable years. You see what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself, you've got a choice. You've got a choice of whether you can stay having type 2 diabetes, or you got a choice to say, you know what? Bump type 2 diabetes. I'm going to make a decision right now that I'm going to reverse this thing no matter what. This is what I'm going to do. This is what my life is going to be about, and nothing is going to stop me. That's what you say. You get that attitude, diabetes is going to be a thing of your past, folks. I love nutritional comedy. Shout out to you, Black TikTok. Are you speaking of kidney beans? Or okay, yes. Kidney beans are not okay. They're great. They're great. Kidney beans, black beans, navy beans, they're great. Wild boar, that's the same thing, right? I mean, if you want to do wild boar, like, still pork at the end of the day, but like, yo, it's totally up to you, bro. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not the leanest sources of protein. You know what I'm saying? Amen. No dairy. Yeah, no dairy. Dairy is scary. Is almond milk dairy? No, almond milk comes from almonds. Dairy comes from a cow. There's a big difference. Almond and cashew. So dairy is causing inflammation. It does. It causes inflammation, causes mucus, you ever see the kids in high school and they got a lot of acne? Like, why these kids got all these acne? They've got hormones, right? They're going through puberty and all that stuff. Well, they're also eating cheese, pizza. They also eat pizza and dairy. And I refereed basketball last night. I refereed a basketball game, and the students, there's middle school. This is a middle school game, this one. And they're chomping down on some pizza, cheese. That's hormones. Hormones are in that cheese. So you've already got your hormones, your teenage hormones going wacky. And then you throw hormones in there from dairy. All the estrogen from the dairy. And you wonder why that's where acne comes from. It's where inflammation comes from. It's where all the stuff comes from. You stop dairy for 2 weeks. You hang out with me in this 14-day challenge for 2 weeks. You stop dairy for 2 weeks. And we're going to show you what happens. We're going to show you how your body kind of like transforms. Kind of transforms. You ever seen Transformers where that's what's going to happen. You stop eating dairy for 2 weeks. Your whole shit is going to transform. They're going to be calling you Optimus Prime. You join that 14-day challenge, use the discount code PROGRESS, $79. You're going to make some progress. You show up, you do the work, do it again the next day. It's linked in my bio. Click here, click on my picture again. You join that 14-day challenge. Your life, I promise you, 2026, never, and I mean never. You're going to look back at 2026, like 2021 was my year. You're going to look back at 2026 and be like, yo, 2026 was my year. The year that I reversed type 2 diabetes. You know what I mean? That's the year. You're going to be telling that story forever. I mean, hell of a story. So the FDA still got food pyramid wrong by adding dairy near the top of the pyramid. They definitely do, folks. The FDA is not your friend. they're not your friend. All right? Giving kids dairy and putting a little carton of dairy on milk on their plate as a kid is not a great thing, folks. You can stop it, folks. Get to that school and be like, yo, you ain't giving my kid another drop of dairy because that shit is scary. Don't do it. Don't do it. Another thing is don't give your kids Lunchables, folks. You know the Lunchables. Don't give your kids Lunchables. Okay, I know they're like costs like $1.86, $1.87 for a thing of Lunchables, folks. Do not, and I repeat, do not. If you care about your kids, only if you care about your kids, though. Do not, and I mean do not ever give your kids Lunchables. Only if you care. If you don't care about the little rascals, then freaking like let them have all the Lunchables they want. You know what I'm saying? But if you care, which if you're their parent, I know you care, don't give it to them. Go to the school right now and be like, yo, you ain't giving my kid no more Lunchables. You ain't giving my kids no more dairy. Because that shit is scary. Or what if beef bacon? If it's as long as it doesn't have nitrates in it, right? You're talking about beef bacon. I don't know where you get that, but as long as it doesn't have nitrates in it. As long as it doesn't have nitrates in it. Beetroot pasta. Never heard of beetroot pasta. But again, pasta anyway. What do we say? What do we say? Pasta. Boom. Moderation. Asterisks. Preach. Say thank you. Raisins and or cranberries. Raisins, I will put those on the diesel fuel side, right? Don't wake up and be like, yo, I'm gonna snack on some raisins. Nah, that's gonna send your blood sugar high. What was the other one? Cranberries. You can do the cranberries, but in moderation, right? We got berries over here, right? See berries? Boom. Brooklyn female, for your resistance to be the point is not only to eat right, you have to exercise as well. That's right, Brooklyn family, free female. You're right. You're right. The core of it is eating. You're right. But then you branch on after that. So you got eating. Yeah, you're right. That's the core of it. And then what do you get from eating? You get exercise, movement, and then another branch is, so there's exercise, there's movement, there's sleep, there's another branch. There's, what's the other branch? Stress management, that's another branch. Managing your alcohol, that's another branch, right? But the main branch, the base of it is the food, the fuel source. But yes, all those other stuff comes into play. So move your body. Exercise is very, very, very important. You got high blood sugar, folks. Moving your body is going to be your best friend because muscles are hungry. The older you get, the more muscles you want to build. If you don't have enough muscles built, you're going to be insulin resistant. It's very, very easily for you to become insulin resistant because you don't have muscles. So go to the gym, get brolic, get swole. You know what I mean? Increase your muscles. Get stronger. Stay strong. No matter how old you are, whether you're 70, 80, stay strong because the more muscles you have, the more insulin sensitive you are. So yes, you're right. Cook potato night before and eat it the next day. It becomes a resistant starch, y'all. Ooh, that girl, look at you being all smart and stuff. You can do that, yes. It becomes a resistant starch. This is an amazing hack. Shout out to you. Yes, to the almond milk. Thank you for allowing. Yes, almond milk you can do. But here's the thing. Even though it's almond milk, it doesn't mean that it's great. You can use this app. Yuka. Yuka is an app you can use, folks, to determine if the product that you're about to eat, because that's what all that stuff is in the store. If it ain't whole unprocessed foods, folks, it's just a product. Like bacon is a product, pizza is a product, cheese is a product. All of these things are products. Pies are products. Agaves are products. All right. You just use this app and it'll give you a score. based on the junk that's inside of it. So you can determine if it's good almond milk or bad almond milk. How about beets? Beets are fantastic, folks. Beets are going to go over here. Beets, especially before you work out, whoo, an hour and a half before you work out, 2 hours, beets, amazing. Beets is very good. I don't know for a diabetic. Yeah, I was a diabetic, folks. And doing my workouts, here's how you do the beets. Hour and a half to 2 hours before your workout, you go fuel up on some beets, some beet juice. I was insulin resistant. Trust me, you'll be fine. When you work out, you're gonna work out like a freaking savage. You're not gonna get tired. You've had beet juice. You got to time it though, right? You can't do it 30 minutes and be like, no. Give it an hour and a half to 2 hours, then go work out after you had the beet juice. Be the best workout of your life. You ain't gonna feel jacked. You're gonna be like, why can't I get tired? Well, that's because of the beet juice. The beets open up your oxygen pathways. Basically, that's what it does. What's a good way to eat? What's a good way to eat? Let's just start off in the morning. In the morning time, the best way to eat is with a savory breakfast. That's the best way to eat. In the morning time, high protein meal, right? High protein meal with a side of veggies, with maybe an avocado. That's called a savory breakfast. You start your day off with a savory breakfast. Something else could be salmon, asparagus, with some almonds on the side. That could be that's your savory breakfast, right? You do that in the morning time. That's a good way to start your day. Now, if you want more on how to eat, like really how to eat, you join this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, where I got everything all structured for you. Everything's all structured for you. I took the guesswork out of it. You join this 14-day challenge. You use the discount code PROGRESS. It's $79. You join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? That's a lot of goodies on my page. There's a quiz. There's a masterclass. There's the ultimate veggie guide. That's absolutely free. Go grab the ultimate veggie guide so we can tell you what veggies to eat. That's all free stuff. But the big one is the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is a system. 14 days for my diabetics, pre-diabetics, folks with all this stuff. It is a system. You join this 14-day challenge. At the end of those 14 days, you're going to look back and be like, yo, what the hell have I been doing last 14 years? Last 14 years. Because that is the power of food. Because that's the only thing that's the thing that's really causing you to have insulin resistance. I told you, it starts with the food, then it goes to the sleep, then it goes to the stress management, then it goes to the activity, the moving, the exercise, right? That's how it starts. You fix what you're eating, you fix insulin resistance. You don't fix what you're eating, you don't fix insulin resistance. It's just as simple as that. You can take all the meds that you want, right? You can take meds until your face turns blue. Really won't matter. Really won't matter if you continue to eat the diesel fuel 24/7. And folks, here's the most important thing that I didn't tell y'all about the diesel fuel. I forgot to show y'all, tell y'all this about diesel fuel. Here it is. You got to understand what diesel fuel really means. Somebody asked, what's the difference between the diesel fuel and the unleaded fuel? The diesel fuel is this, and I'm going to answer this question because I got new folks in. The diesel fuel is this. If you pull up to the gas station and you put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, the question is, what the hell is going to happen to your car? If you go to the gas station right now and you grab that green pump and you put diesel fuel into it right now, what the hell is going to happen to your car? It's going to break down. That's diesel fuel. It's going to break down. You're not even going to make it to the light. But had you put unleaded into your car like you're supposed to, your car would run like a champ. You wouldn't even have any problems with your car, would you, or would you not? You would. You just go get some like tire rotations. You go get an oil change. You go get a tune-up here and there. But for the most part, you just put the gas in it and you go. That's it. That's how it's supposed to work. And it's the same thing with the human body. You're not supposed to be suffering from high blood sugar and all of that stuff. Like, you're just supposed to eat the food and you go. You have energy and all that stuff. But when we fill up on diesel fuel all the time, this right here, this is diesel fuel, folks, which we fill up on Americans. We fill up on this like 90% of the time. In America, this is what we fill up on. The numbers are flipped. You see, I got 10%. That's supposed to be, in America, we do 90% of diesel fuel and we do 10% of the unleaded. but you're supposed to fill up on the unleaded most of the time. You fill up on the unleaded most of the time, this stuff over here, your body's going to run like a well-oiled machine, which it is. It is a well-oiled machine. You just underestimated it. You underestimated your body's ability to heal. You did. It didn't your body knows what it can do. You don't know what it can do, right? Your brain doesn't know what it can do because your brain wants to keep you comfortable. But your body, whoo, your body wants to heal. You ignore your brain for a little while and you start eating this stuff, even though your brain is like, no, go back to the diesel, go back to the diesel. Nuh-uh. Fill up on the unleaded. Check it out. Here's the thing about diesel fuel, folks. Look what it spells. Look what the acronym spells. Look how you spell diesel fuel. Look how you spell diesel. You think it's a coincidence? You think it's a coincidence that diesel is spelled this way? What? Look, D-I-E, di-cell. Die-cell, diesel. It's where your cells go to die. Diesel fuel is where your cells go to die, folks. It's not a coincidence on how this word was created. Yes. Makes sense, right? That's why you lose your life 15, 20 years too soon, because your cells die too soon. They got oxidized. They got glycation. Too much glycation from too much diesel fuel clogged up your daggone pipes. And next thing you know, you passed away 15, 20 years too soon because you filled up on diesel fuel. But if you would have filled up on unleaded fuel, most of the time, look, you don't even got to get 100. 90% of the time, you get a 90 on the test, you still get an A. You know what I'm saying? You still get an A, folks. That's it. That's the analogy. That's the analogy. Where do I find the veggie guide? You find the veggie guide, the ultimate veggie guide? Let me show you. Let me show you where it is. Chia seeds are unleaded. Yes, chia seeds are going to be unleaded. Yes. I only eat carbs for dinner, not one day. Not on one day, not a daytime. Okay, great. Nothing is great if your insulin resistance is high. You're right. You are absolutely right. We talked about insulin resistance. That was the first thing we talked about today. So yeah, you're absolutely right. But here it is right here. The ultimate veggie guide. If you click here, and then you click on my picture again, because we're getting ready to get out of here, folks. We're going to get out of here right now. But we'll be back tonight, though. We'll be back tonight. We'll be back tonight to finish talking about this diesel fuel, unleaded fuel, like whatever. But in the meantime, and in between time, folks, here's the ultimate veggie guide. Here's where the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is. Here's where all the goodies are. So if you click here, and then you click on my picture again, here it is. It's going to take you right here. Boom. See that link that I clicked on? It said Linktree. You click on that link that says Linktree, it is going to take you to the ultimate veggie guide right here. You see it? Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. The ultimate veggie guide. That's it. It's a free resource. You take this resource with you when you go to the store. What's covered? A clear list of non-starchy veggies you can confidently eat. Veggies people ask me about all the time. A simple reference guide you can use at the store or in your kitchen. Less confusion, more confidence. The ultimate veggie guide, folks. It's all unleaded fuel. Like, well, which veggies should I be eating as a type 2 diabetic? The ultimate veggie guide is going to help you clear that up. But that's absolutely free, folks. But here it is. Here's where the fun starts. You got a lot of freebies on here. The quiz. The quiz is free. You take the 2-minute quiz. Take the quiz and understand and learn your diabetes management style. There's a master class, a free master class that you can register for, put on by me, where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. That's all free, folks. Just pay attention. That's it. But this one right here, it's the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one right here. You see this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge? This one, folks, is for my folks who are ready to say, damn it, forget about type 2 diabetes. Forget about insulin resistance. Forget about that. 2026 is going to be my damn year. And then I'm going to reverse it. Like for Kelley, it was 2021. No. Yours is 2026. That was the year I made my transformation. 2026 is going to be the year you make your transformation. Use this. You start right here. This is where you start. What can you expect for me to take you outside of your comfort zone? That's it. That's it. Because you can't change what you confuse to confront. You cannot change, folks. You cannot change insulin resistance. You cannot change your A1C if you refuse to confront what it is that's actually causing you to be insulin resistant and have a high A1C. You cannot. And that is the food. What you can expect is, I'm going to take you outside of your comfort zone, and we're going to eat real, whole, unprocessed foods. These foods over here, that's what we're going to focus on. We eat those foods for 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, in a specific order, and at the end of those 14 days, I got it all structured out for you. All you got to do is show up and do the work. In those 14 days, your blood sugar ain't going to look the same. You ain't going to look the same. You're going to be a different person. It's $99 to join the challenge. Normally, that's the regular price. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS, 20% off to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? So my folks who are ready for serious change. If you ain't ready for serious change, it ain't going to be for you. But if it's for my people who are ready to, they're about that life. You ever met somebody, they're like, yo, I'm about that life. This is those 5%ers. The 5% of the people who said that, who will actually reverse diabetes, even though 95% of people can, only 5% of people will do it. That's why I created the 14-day challenge for those folks. That's 5%. Are you part of that 5% is the question. Or are you part of the 95%? The 95% is people who just fill up on diesel fuel 24/7 and their engine stays clogged forever. You feel what I'm saying? I want you to be part of that 5%. You join that 14-day challenge. Use that discount code PROGRESS because we get ready to get out of here. You have a great speech. Thank you. Covered everything. Remind them of the hydration, water. Thank you, Dak girl. Yeah, water. Fill up, stay hydrated, right? Thank you. Let me see. At least half your body weight in ounces. So me, I weigh 120 pounds. At least 60 ounces of water a day. That's a good rule of thumb. But it's your ideal body weight, though. It's just not your body weight. So if you weigh 400 pounds, you shouldn't be drinking 200 ounces of water a day. It's your ideal body weight. You know what I'm saying? My ideal body weight's 120 pounds. That's where I am. It's my ideal body weight. So if I drink 60 ounces of water a day, stay hydrated, I'm in there. All right, folks, we're out of here. We're ready to get out of here. Like I said before, folks, download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's absolutely free. Don't miss out on it. It's a very nice resource. Wow, that's a great body weight. Yeah. Well, it depends on your height, right? It depends on your height. I'm 5'2". So if I'm 5'2", but if someone was 5'7" and they weighed 120 pounds, they'd be like, yo, bro, you need to eat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just depends on your body weight. Depends on your height. But folks, we'll be back tonight. In the meantime and in between time, like I said, for my folks who are ready for, if you're part of that 5%, the 5% of the people who said that they will reverse type 2 diabetes, because you have a 95% chance. You have a 95% chance to reverse type 2 diabetes, but only 5% of people will take that chance and actually do the work. That is crazy work. Crazy. But if you're part of that 5%, you join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. I'm not finding it. Let me show you where it is. Which one? Which one are you not finding? The challenge or the Ultimate Veggie Guide, the free resource? That's me. 6 foot, 130 pounds. Yeah, 6 foot 130 is That's that. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, we gotta put some. If somebody say we gotta put some meat on it, yeah. See, that means you're underweight. 6 foot 130. I'm not finding the Veggie Guide. Okay, here it is. The Veggie Guide. Okay, let me show you what a Veggie Guide is. All right, you got me. I'm gonna get out of here on this one, and we'll be back tonight. So you know what? No, let's get this thing to 30,000. Let's get this thing to 30,000 before we get up out of here. And I'm gonna show you what this Veggie Guide. Double tap that screen, folks. Share this live out with anybody you know struggling with pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, all of that stuff. Here it is. So if you click here, and then you click on my picture again, you got to click there. Click on my picture where it says 29,000. And then you got to click on my face again, my smiling face, the one that's like this. Click on it. It's going to go right here. You see that link that I pressed? Linktree. There it is. Right up under my picture. I'm going to show you one more last time. You probably hear me talking. There it is right there. See that link? Linktree. The Ultimate Veggie Guide, the very first one. That's the one that you want. The Ultimate Veggie Guide. Absolutely. It's going to be a game changer when you go to the damn grocery store. I'm telling you. Ultimate Veggie Guide. Here it is. Ultimate Veggie Guide. And then the 14-day challenge is right here for my folks who are ready for serious change. The quiz, you can take a quiz. There's a free quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. And then there's a PDF. There's a master class, a free master class. Oh, there's a lot of freebies on here. It's a lot of grabbing those stuff. But for my folks who are ready for serious change, that is the 14-day challenge. That's the 5% folks right here. The 5%ers are right here. That 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 5% of the folks who said that they will reverse type 2 diabetes, because you can reverse it. Because it's a diet. It's caused by your diet. That's what it's caused by. You fix your diet, you fix type 2 diabetes, you fix insulin resistance. You do not, you stay in the 95%. You stay inside of the matrix, as I call it. You stay inside of the matrix. And you don't reverse type 2 diabetes, and it takes you out painfully. Because that's what's going to happen. That's how it works, folks. This is a very, very destructive condition. Very, very destructive. You want to know what type 2 diabetes is like? I'm going to give you an analogy. It's like if these two things had a baby, it will be called type 2 diabetes. Here it is. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. I'm going to end y'all with this. We'll be back tonight. If these two things had a baby, a ninja, a deadly assassin, because that's what they are, a ninja. I grew up in the 1980s, so ninjas, I love ninja movies. The only time that you'll know that a ninja was there is when it's too late. By that time, it's taking your life because they're quiet. Shh. Shh. Ninjas are. Ninjas are quiet. You can see the board. So a ninja is the father, and the mother of type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance will be a category 5 hurricane. A category 5 hurricane. If a category 5 hurricane and a ninja had a baby, it will be called type 2 diabetes. It will be called insulin resistance. That's what it would be called. Both are bad, yeah. Imagine if they had a baby. That thing will be a little freaking terror. And that's exactly what insulin resistance is. It's exactly what type 2 diabetes is. It is the poster child. It was the child of a ninja and a category 5 hurricane. Because that's the kind of destruction that it's doing in your body. Category 5 destruction. But you don't even know it. It's quiet. What time tonight? East Central time, right? So I'll be on at 7 Central, right? About 6:45-ish. About 6:45 Central time. I'll be on somewhere around there, 6:45-ish, give or take, somewhere around there. Tonight, we're going to jump back into it. We're going to talk about this thing. We're going to talk more about all this fun stuff we're having, folks. We're going to have more fun. So all the stuff on your unleaded is good for you to eat. Yes, it is. But with an asterisk. All this stuff is good, but with an asterisk, right? The ones with an asterisk, you got to use caution. We'll talk more about it tonight if you got questions. So what's the brief info about the board? I'm gonna leave you with this. What's the brief info about the board? Just give you something to marinate because we're getting ready to get out of here. Diesel fuel and unleaded fuel. Last thing. Last way I'm breaking it down. You pull up to the gas station. What kind of fuel do you put into your car? You put unleaded into your car. But let's just say one day, by accident, you pull up to that gas station and you grab the green pump, which is the diesel fuel, and you put that into your car. The question is, what's going to happen to your car? What's going to happen to your car? I can tell you what's going to happen to your car. It ain't going to make it to the light. Yeah, it's going to stop. It's not going to even make it to the light. When you come out of the gas station, it's going to be like, whoop. Your car's going to be like that, shaking. And you got to get a whole new engine and all of that stuff. It's going to be crazy. But had you pulled up to the gas station and you put what was supposed to go in there, the unleaded fuel, had you did that, your car would have just ran like a champ until the next time you had to fill up again. Am I right or am I right? Unless barring anything like maybe you got to get an oil change, maybe you got to get some tire rotations, maybe you got to get a little tune up here and there. But for the most part, it's going to run like a champ. Now, think of that for your body. When it comes to insulin resistance, when it comes to type 2 diabetes, when it comes to healthier choices, if you fill up on the diesel fuel, your body is going to break down, just like that car. But your body is more resilient than a car. You can do this. You can fill up on the diesel fuel for years. And And your body is so resilient, it wants to survive so bad that it will do everything in its power to survive. A car is not built that way. A car is just going to be like, it's just going to break down. But you got to do a lot of, so this is why it takes a long time for this stuff to add up. But if you fill up on unleaded fuel, most of the time, your body is going to run like a well-oiled freaking machine. No diabetes, no heart, none of that stuff. No insulin resistance, all because you filled up on the right fuel source. And now your body is running like a champ every freaking week, every freaking day, every freaking year, every decade. That's the analogy. So don't fill up on diesel fuel, folks. Fill up on the unleaded. Avoid the diesel fuel, period. Yes. All right, folks. 14-day challenge. Use the discount code PROGRESS. The Ultimate Veggie Guide. Go download that. Download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. Until then, folks, I'll see y'all tonight. 6:45. About 6:45 Central Standard Time. That's 7:45 Eastern. I'll be on tonight. We're going to have some fun on a Friday night. So shout out to y'all. Until then, folks, you've got some choices. When it comes to defeating type 2 diabetes, you can either choose the diesel fuel or the unleaded. You've got a choice. You've got a choice. You see, when we're born, we look like our parents. That's what we look like. I look like my dad. You know what I mean? We look like our parents. I look like my dad. Like my father. So we look like our parents. But when we die, whoo, dad now. You don't know who we look like? We look exactly like our choices. When we die, we look exactly like our choices.